original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. American negotiators are headed for Pakistan. Question is, will there be a restart of talks to end the war with Iran? CBS's Natalie Brand.
Iran's regime essentially said that, there's not plans as of now for this second round of negotiations, but also added the caveat that no decision has yet been made. So obviously, we're going to have to wait and see how this unfolds over the next 24 hours. The president was asked about this in a new phone call with PBS News, and he said that he doesn't know if Iran is still participating in the talks, saying they're supposed to be there, but if they're not, that's fine, too.
Iran called the seizure of one of its cargo ships by the U.S. near the Strait of Hormuz an act of piracy. CBS's Dr. Celine Gounder tells us blocking of the strait has boosted the price of some key drug ingredients by as much as 70%.
Dubai and Doha are major hubs for temperature-controlled medicines, and those routes are now largely frozen.
Well, just in, police are responding to a mass shooting at a park in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Several victims after what police say was a planned fight involving young people. Shreveport, Louisiana police looking for answers after a man went on a deadly shooting rampage, killing 7 of his own children and another child. CBS's Jason Allen says he died after a police chase.
We know that he had a previous guilty plea on a weapons charge. That was back in 2019. But if you're looking for any indications in recent history that would, lead you to suspect something like this could happen, we're not finding out about that yet. I know even some family members that we had talked to yesterday, we're still trying to understand what could have led up to anything like this.
The American Library Association says book bans remain at record highs. Patricia McCormick's novel called Sold, about the sex trafficking operation in India, topping that list. Overseas, and a key day for Britain's Prime Minister.
I'm Vicky Barker in London.
Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
Starmer came to Parliament to once again insist he had no idea Peter Mandelson had failed a security check when he made him ambassador to the U.S. But there was one thing he was prepared to own.
I should not have appointed Peter Mandelson.
Starmer later fired Mandelson over revelations in the Epstein files. Now apologizing to Epstein's victims, whom he said he had failed in choosing to hire Mandelson at all. If Starmer's found to have lied to Parliament about the case, he'll have to resign.
Defending champion John Korir of Kenya won the Boston Marathon today, and a few miles from that scene, reenactment of Paul Revere's ride to warn the British were coming 250 years ago. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
2 cyclists are in critical condition after a crash early this morning in Seattle. We'll tell you more about that in just a moment. But first, we're going to check your traffic, and we are about average today, except for a very serious backup on 405 northbound. We're backed up from north of the S-curves, north of the Maple Valley Highway, all the way back almost to I-5 at this point, and 167 is really suffering from that backup as well. There's even a collision in the northbound direction about a mile from the merge there that's causing some pretty difficult travel times. We are looking at Renton to Bellevue being at least 10 minutes backed up. Federal Way to Seattle is a 33-minute drive right now, so not too bad. Linwood to Seattle, 49 minutes. The lake bridges are pretty clear right now, and the South Sound is a speed limit commute. This report brought to you by Wilcox Farms. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. 2 cyclists are in critical condition after a crash on Aurora Avenue in Seattle. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has been following this all morning.
The 2 people on the same Lime bicycle thought they could cross Aurora. They were unfamiliar with the area. They didn't know there was a Jersey barrier on the other side trapping them on 99 with a truck headed toward them. Detective Brian Pritchard on the truck driver.
He didn't see him. They drove in front of him and they were struck. There's no signs of impairment from that driver, and that driver was released from the scene.
The 30-year-old woman and 28-year-old man were last listed in critical condition at Harborview Medical Center. In Seattle, Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A young woman is fighting for her life after a shooting in Seattle's Pioneer Square neighborhood. It happened early Sunday near Occidental Avenue South and South Jackson Street. Police are still looking for that shooter, and the Alliance for Pioneer Square is calling on local leaders to step up and address ongoing safety concerns in that historic neighborhood. Thurston County's sheriff is highlighting a dangerous problem with repeat offenders after he says a 14-time felon led deputies on a chase through Olympia at speeds up to 120 miles an hour. They tried spike strips and even a controlled crash. Finally, deputies say they tackled him after he turned down a dead-end road and bailed out of his car.
You're under arrest.
For what?
Felony eluding.
Are you kidding me?
And your felony warrants.
Dude, our airplane's been watching you this whole time.
His bail was set at $15,000. We had a week of dipping gas prices last week. Now they're expected to go back up. Patrick DeHaan is the chief petroleum analyst for Gas Buddy. He says major uncertainty over the ability to get oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz is driving prices up.
And for diesel, also the third most expensive average for diesel at $6.82 a gallon. We'll continue to monitor what happens in the Middle East between the U.S. and Iran. So far, though, motorists may need to buckle up and prepare to pay a little bit more in the week ahead as we continue to see a lot of twists and turns in the road of U.S.-Iran relations.
Now we're going to check your weather, and it is mostly cloudy, but nice temperatures, 73. Tomorrow, showers move in. It's 58 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula, good morning to you.
Good morning. I'm in an especially good mood for a Monday. Why? Because I was able to put on something very springy today because it is going to be the picture-perfect Chamber of Commerce kind of day today.
Okay, yeah.
We're supposed to hit the 70s before we cool off again by tomorrow.
Love that.
Yes.
Love
so I hope you all are in a great mood as well and hope you had a very nice and safe weekend. But we've got a full show for you. For example, coming up at 9:30, 4 years for a college degree? Try 4 weeks. Is this a brilliant shortcut or are we fast-tracking past the whole point of college? I think it's nuts. But coming up at 9:30, we'll talk about this new trend of what they're calling degree hacking. As always, we invite you to join us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Let's get to it. Top stories of the day brought to you by Pittergas Law.
Okay, Gee, remember the story we were talking about with Luke on Friday about these major data centers? So now there's major pushback this morning on this proposal that could reshape how and how much we pay for electricity in Seattle. So again, just to recap, 4 major companies want to build 5 massive data centers in the city. And according to the Seattle Times, those facilities could require about a third of Seattle's daily power use. Activist groups have now fired up a campaign. They've sent more than 54,000 letters to city officials warning that this could drive up utility bills and put a strain on a hydropower system already dealing with ongoing drought. Over the weekend, because there was so much attention on this, Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson put out a statement saying that no permits have been approved. She is acknowledging that there is a great concern, and she is confirming that the city is now exploring a moratorium on these new data centers while they study the long-term impact. And as you know, Gee, this is not just a Seattle issue. AI-driven data centers are popping up all over the country, from North Carolina to Missouri, all chasing power. And, you know, the big question is it worth it to have these in your city if it means more jobs, but then it also could mean more cost?
Good for the mayor, recognizing and putting a moratorium on this. And also, hopefully, I mean, I haven't had a conversation with the mayor, but I'm hoping that she and inside of her administration understand the pattern of this. And when I mean the pattern, it is the same old playbook that we have seen in the past. Because let's be real, if and when these data centers come in this area, they won't be in Medina. They won't be in Laurelhurst. They won't be in some of those neighborhoods. So you already know what neighborhoods these are going to go to. It's the same neighborhoods where the landfills went in the 80s. Or if you want to talk about the highways, where were the highways built? In the 60s. They were in lower income neighborhoods. So the same thing with the data centers. These data centers, if they were to be approved and where they would go, pay attention to where they won't go. Now, I don't know. We're talking now.
Yeah.
We can keep these receipts right here, but if it ever gets approved, pay attention to where these data centers won't go.
Yes. And just to be clear, they're looking, because there's a whole process that goes into imposing a moratorium, but it sounds like the wheels are already spinning. Certain city council members have already talked about that possibility. Looking around the country, places like Maine have passed statewide moratoriums. Cities like Denver and Madison, Wisconsin, they have paused projects to study the impact on power and water and utility bills. So I would imagine that Seattle will be among those two doing the same thing. But these companies are finding places that are welcoming them. Places like Texas and places in the Midwest where land is a lot cheaper and the power is easier to get and the rules are a lot looser. And those states are getting lots of jobs that go with these data centers. So again, the real tension is, do you bring them in and bring in those jobs and bring in the money and bring in the revenue? Or do you risk losing that next wave of tech investment, but you are protecting utility bills and protecting the environment?
Well, we had Luke on recently, and he was in here talking about the fallout, the potential fallout that can happen from these data centers. Right now, we have already talked about our light and gas bill being diabolical. So imagine if these things come in our neighborhood.
Yes.
There are people that are talking about that bill going up. They're talking about lower access to water.
Yes.
All of those things. So
yes.
I like my analogies, and I'm going to just keep it simple. Imagine if G. Scott is in your house and eats a third of your food, but pays you nothing for it. Your food cost goes up, and I'm just happy to eat your food. Come on now.
I know. I'm with you. The idea of having these massive data centers in the city of Seattle is a no-go. And I hope that they do come up with a moratorium. They're going to go somewhere, though.
They will. And that's my point. They will go somewhere.
Yes.
Pay attention to where they don't go.
Yes. Okay, pay attention to this next story because did you hear about this box of ballots that were found next to a dumpster in Renton? Well, that box of ballots is now at the center of an investigation, and it's raising a lot of serious questions. So in case you haven't heard, there were about 400 ballots. To make it clear, most of them were unopened and unvoted. But they somehow ended up at the headquarters of the Washington State Republican Party after the party's chairman, Jim Walsh, posted a video calling it proof that the system is not secure.
Earlier today, a concerned citizen came into the offices of the WGOP in Bellevue and dropped off a box containing hundreds of ballots that had been mailed to voters from the King County Elections Office in Renton over several years, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, for primaries and for general elections in November of each of those years, that the concerned individual found in a large box on the ground next to a dumpster at a strip mall in Renton. This is proof that Washington state elections are not secure.
So here's the twist, G. King County Elections says they have no record of anyone reporting these ballots, despite claims that the concerned citizen tried to reach out. Same with the Secretary of State, Steve Hobbs, who says, you know what? Not only did we not get any report of someone claiming that they found this box, but posting a video online, he says, is not how you would handle something like this. And he also pointed out that there are safeguards in place, including signature verification on every ballot. And again, these were unopened. These were not voted on, but according to Jim Walsh, they span years. So now the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, prosecutors, and possibly the FBI are all looking into how these ballots were thrown out in the first place.
So it's interesting. It's real easy. I mean, I'm not the most tech-savvy person, but let's say I was trying to reach out and say, hey, I got these box of ballots ranging from 2022 all the way to 2025. I have this box of ballots. Hey, what do you want me to do with this? Show a record of that. You can easily show record of that. Now, did you call? Did you talk to someone? Well, guess what? If and when the FBI looks into this, they'll be able to dig into that too. Don't let this story, by the way, unopened, never reached, wasn't accounted for. Don't let this story try to sway you from the real truth and the less than 1% of fraud over the last 25 years. Oh, don't forget, last month, the President, Donald Trump, his wife, and son voted by mail. So this does not surprise me that Jim Walsh takes this time to try to scare you and alarm you, but ever notice that they never can address the facts. They just want to come with this story. So I hope that the FBI investigate this
right to the end.
Because and if and when they do, let's see if Jim Walsh comes in and wants to talk about it then.
Yeah, this whole thing does not pass the smell test, but again, it's just so happened to end up at the headquarters of the state Republican Party, and then the first thing we see is a political video. Sorry that I'm raising some questions, but
investigate it. Let's for real investigate that and get to the bottom of it. I would like them to investigate that. I would like them to investigate the Epstein files. I would like them to investigate the assassination attempt. Why do they stop when they say something? Do they really want a full scope of an investigation?
Well, in Seattle, hundreds of people took to the streets in Ballard this weekend, demanding answers from Sound Transit and a promise that they say is slipping away right now.
Save Ballard Rail! Save Ballard Rail! Save Ballard Rail!
We are here to say you do not solve a financial crisis by breaking the trust with people who funded you.
According to King 5 News, protesters rallied against potential cuts to the long-promised Ballard light rail extension, which is a project that voters approved back in 2016. Right now, Sound Transit is staring down a massive $34 billion funding gap, and every proposal on the table right now would stop the line short of Ballard. So the folks who came out this week and say, hey, you know, this is one of the region's biggest transit gaps. It's so hard. Everyone knows how hard it is to get to Ballard, and it has some of the highest projected ridership in the entire system. Sound Transit, for its part, says it's trying to find a sustainable path forward with decisions expected in the next couple of months.
No disrespect to Ballard.
Yeah.
No disrespect. But this is the time that I speak up for my brothers and sisters down in Pierce County. Do y'all know what folks had to go through for that?
Yeah, they're basically saying, cry me a river.
Okay. No, I'm being serious. Okay, so, Ursula, simple terms. Let's say you're getting ready to pay for an addition on your kitchen, and you pay the folks, and then the folks have your money. And when they have your money, Ursula, they come to you and they say, hey, listen, I know we said that it was going to happen, and I know what you paid for. But right now, we're trying to figure it out because we got some other customers that are needing some things too. So I'm going to speak on behalf of Pierce County, Tacoma and them. It's simple. If you don't extend so Tacoma can ride, run us our money back. No.
Yeah, because mind you,
give us our money back.
Pierce County voted down this whole thing. But so because it's a region-wise, they took the money.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, first priority should be Pierce County.
Give us that money back then. It's not rocket science. Like, and you know what? You know what I'm going to say to you. Every election, you sit here and you tell people to go vote. And the people text you back and they tell you.
It doesn't matter. Yes. And so this would be playing exactly into that. And then I would not blame people for having that feeling if somehow now it stops short of Tacoma and just ends up in Fife. But it's not just Pierce County. In Everett, they're also saying, wait a minute, yeah, Linwood is great, but we need to get to Everett. And I actually agree with them. Before Ballard gets it, I think it should go further south first, up north second.
Everett has Sully fight for y'all. I'm fighting for Tacoma. You know what I mean? I'm fighting for Tacoma. And but Ursula, is that a reasonable ask? Like,
no,
if you
no,
guys don't,
I think the priority has to be Pierce County and specifically Tacoma. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about this teacher, or actually a principal controversy. It's up in North Seattle, where parents are demanding answers after the Seattle School District placed a controversial principal at an elementary school, even though this principal has a history that includes findings of unlawful discrimination. So this is a story from the Seattle Times. Anitra Jones was recently appointed principal of Adams Elementary in Ballard, and families say they were blindsided. Now, this is a principal who just last year was removed from her previous school after complaints of a toxic environment. Teachers were leaving at high rates. Some students were reportedly anxious and even afraid to come to school. And then on top of that, a state labor ruling found that she illegally discriminated against staff tied to union activity. So parents are saying, like, how does someone go from that to now leading another school? So the district's response is its hands were tied. And they say there are legal obligations that required them to place her in a principal role. And they say that she did complete required training. She also has a long resume. She also has a lot of awards for student achievement. But for families at this elementary school, they're saying, like, yeah, that's not enough. And now there's a public meeting scheduled tonight.
When I go and auctioneer and I do events, people always ask me what's some of my favorite events. Some of my favorite events are events for schools. And the reason why is because parents, teachers, administrators, they take that serious.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I want to start off with that. So if anybody is looking at Ballard's like, hey, why you got, they take their kids serious. Now, I also want to say, Ursula, I do believe that people deserve second chances. However, second chances means it has to be the accountability, and can that person get back in that same area? Just reassignment, let's use that word. Reassignment gets used too often. It's like there's a leak in your boat, Ursula, and then there's another boat. Let's move the leak to this other boat. No. Patch the damn leak. We patched the leak. So while I don't know the real behind the scenes on this, I did talk to an assistant principal before coming on the show today. And the one thing they did tell me, they told me this, and maybe you principals out there or teachers can relate to this. He told me that as an assistant principal, if and when you hold teachers accountable, they don't like you. And sometimes it can be a toxic culture. But if you kind of let teachers get away with stuff, then they sing your praises. So I don't know about this situation, but I think Ballard parents have a reason to gripe.
Yes, and so they're going to air those concerns, and I think that this principal is going to have to do a lot of fence mending with this particular thing. The issue that I have, though, and it happens too often, and it happens with when you're dealing with a union. I'm going to say that, and when you're and that's not the case. That's not being pointed out as a case here. And a principal, I don't believe, would be covered by that. But when a district like the Seattle School District leans on the idea that, okay, there's legal risks, we have to go through these things to keep this person here to avoid legal trouble down the road, even though you're like, this person is causing students to drop out, students to get stressed out, teachers to leave. And I understand what you're saying. Yeah. You know, it could just be, hey, it could also be, because there's more than just one or two things. The district needs to have a spine, too. If it turns out this person is really toxic for this environment and is not living up to the standards, legal risk or not, you need to do the right thing.
And Ursula, I don't know which side of the story is, but reassignment and just moving her over, because there was another place, they tried to slide her over to Dunlap first.
Yeah.
Until the folks pushed back there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's more to it.
Yeah. Hey, 947, we need to talk about all the different types of slang. That's right. Slang in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even Sophia and them's time. But up next, are students speeding through their online degrees? Is that alarming for educators and or you? We discuss next. Gee Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
If by like the 15th of October rolls around and suddenly it's a bolt of lightning and I croak out right there, I'm fine.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
My dream of growing a giant pumpkin is just a couple of months away. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows someone who got me the seed, the 1,500-pounder, baby. It's in a secret location. I don't want to say where it is.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Major financial decisions deserve education, not pressure. Madrona Financial and CPAs host live seminars and online webinars throughout the year to help you make informed, confident choices. Their tax return treasure hunt discusses how to uncover planning opportunities potentially hidden inside your own tax return. Growing her wealth addresses the financial transitions many women face and how to prepare for them thoughtfully and confidently. Beyond the Numbers introduces a framework for building a comprehensive financial plan while helping connect your finances to your goals, priorities, and the life you want to design. And Landlord Exit Strategies takes a clear look at whether holding, selling, or restructuring your rental properties makes sense long term. You can attend in person or join online from home. To see the full schedule, visit madronafinancial.com/events or call 833-673-7373. Madrona Financial and CPAs, where informed planning starts.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from. But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work. And they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Every Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Are you an HVAC professional in Western Washington? UA Local 32 offers industry-leading pay, advanced training at a state-of-the-art facility, and retirement benefits you can count on. For 135 years, they've had your back. Start building your future at UALocal32.com.
Owie, wowie.
What's with the
water heater's worn out?
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all,
what?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow!
Your new water heater is ready
right now
at ApolloPlumbing.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Jillian Raftery. A U.S. delegation will head to Pakistan soon for a new round of peace negotiations with Iran. Iran, though, says it has not yet decided if they're going to come. They say the seizure of an Iranian vessel by the U.S. in the Strait of Hormuz was a breach of the ceasefire agreement. CBS News national security contributor Samantha Vinograd says both sides are trying to show their leverage by shutting down that strait.
The United States blockade of the strait is to cut off an economic lifeline for Iran. And Iran's control over the strait is to show the United States that it can choke off energy supplies.
This is also expected to cause shortages of some medical supplies. A community is in mourning in Shreveport, Louisiana.
And it just makes you take your children and hug them and hold them and tell them how much you love them.
Investigators now say it was a father who killed 7 of his children and one of their cousins and also shot his wife and another woman. In North Seattle, police are looking for the suspect who left a man with stab wounds. This happened off Northgate Way on North 107th. This happened just within the last few hours, and that search is ongoing in the area. No, it was not your imagination. 2 planes had to make emergency landings on Saturday, one on a freeway near Vancouver, Washington. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas.
Taxiing on the highway with a police escort, that plane, a single-engine Cessna Skyhawk, able to safely land here on State Route 14, just east ahead of its intended target. That was Pearson Field, but thankfully no vehicles hit and no one was hurt. An Auburn fire crews called to this work site just after 2 o'clock yesterday. Small plane crash here, and you can see the wing pretty banged up. 2 people were on board, one taken to the hospital, the other not hurt.
The Seattle Torrent are now officially out of the women's hockey playoffs after a loss to Vancouver. It's the team's first year after a league expansion. Their last 2 games happen here at home at Climate Pledge Arena on Wednesday and Saturday. And it's NFL Draft Week. The Hawks have the last pick of the first round, but analysts predict the team may trade out. All the drama starts on Thursday. We've got mock draft coverage and so much more on seattlesports.com. Now let's check your drive. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, and we've got that lingering pesky issue on 405 southbound. It is maintenance in Tukwila that is causing that slowdown. There's 2 lanes blocked, and it's going to cost you at least 10 extra minutes. I would maybe even avoid 405 southbound. 405 northbound still struggling as well. We've got slowing through the S-curves. That's backing up 167 as well. Renton to Bellevue, 30 minutes right now. Federal Way to Seattle, 32 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, 41 minutes. So actually a little bit better than you might see this time of day on Monday. Lake bridges are clear. This brought to you by Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. This month, when you install a new AC or heat pump, you'll get free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Scheduled today at dayandnight.net. and it's going to be a pretty nice day. Clouds hanging around. 73 is your high. Overnight lows in the low 50s. We do have some rain for the next 2 days, but it should be nice by the weekend. 58 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Monday to all of you. Text us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. We often talk about the college experience and getting a college degree here on this show. And the question I have for you this morning is, what if a college degree didn't actually take 4 years, but maybe you could get that diploma in 4 months or even 4 weeks? Because that is what is happening right now, G. There is a growing number of students who are racing through online degree programs. They don't have to sit through the lectures. You just have to show what you know and move on. And this is according to the Washington Post. Some are finishing entire bachelor's degrees in as little as 8 weeks. And they cited one example where a woman did that and then went back and got her master's degree the same year. So as you can imagine, more people are doing this because, as we have talked about, it is so expensive to go to college these days. But these programs can run around $1,800 per term. So some students can get their degrees for less than $5,000. It's also a really big business right now. There are coaches and influencers and online communities teaching people how to speed run through college, helping thousands of people shave years off the traditional path. What do you think of this?
I love it. Absolutely.
I hate it.
Absolutely love it. So let me get to the reason why I love it. And I'm not talking about doctors. I'm not talking about lawyers. I'm not talking about engineers. There are certain specific things that you need for sure college for continued education. But I want to just talk about how college has been more about the application fee than the education. And what do I mean by the application fee? Well, I mean by this. That application fee is, and by the way, it's not a guarantee when you get that, because some people's college degrees gets you further than other people with the same degree. But what I'm saying is that over the years, that receipt of $100,000, it says, hey, yep, you can get in the club. You can come on in. You have an opportunity to come on in. And what's happening right now is there are people that are upset. Yeah, sure. You're upset. Like, yeah, I can't believe for $4,000 you can get that receipt that cost me or cost my family hundreds of $1,000s. So here's what it exposes. Yes, there is a new receipt for $4,000, and like, oh my goodness, you can't believe that. But while also it points a picture on how ridiculous the $200,000 that it costs to get that receipt. And the reason why I keep calling it a receipt, because just because you have a college education does not mean that you can do that job well. For years,
that's for sure.
Only thing the college, air quotes, education has been, it's just a receipt. It's just a receipt to show, hey, can you get in the club? Can you get in our membership? Oh, yes. Okay. You got the membership. That doesn't mean that you're going to be a good job. Right now, there's somebody that's working next to somebody that has a college education. They have a master's degree, and they just got a PhD. Poor, hungry, and determined, and they outwork the person with the, air quotes, college education every time. So while people are upset with this, fair. Fine. You can be upset with it. Make sure you keep that same energy. You can't do it one way. You could be upset about the $4,000 receipt. Also be upset about the $200,000 receipt that it takes to get in these places.
Yeah, I think college, the one thing that I will agree with you on is that when you say college is a scam, I think the fact that colleges now are charging $70,000, $80,000 a year for this education is extremely ridiculous, elitist. I don't care how much you say, we need to pay for high talent and et cetera, et cetera. The idea that you would go into debt The level of the purchase of your first house for a college degree, I think is crazy. And I think that is a racket. That said, I think you lose a lot. Am I upset about this? No. But you lose a lot in that you are just making it about just, getting this receipt. It means absolutely nothing to have this degree because you're doing it in 4 weeks. And what are you doing? I mean, you are just you're paying now thousands of dollars just to say that you've got this online diploma that you learned absolutely nothing.
I'd argue that there are people that went to school for 4 years and got that $200,000 receipt and learned absolutely nothing. Well, it is actually possible. If you guys have gone to college, you can go to college and learn nothing, one.
Yeah.
Two, you can go to college and
learn
a lot, and do completely something opposite of what your degree is.
Yeah.
So, listen, what's happening is a 4-week degree is getting you in the door to do a job that a 4-year degree has done. The 4-year degree is too long, too much.
But here's my question. Do future employers, treat these online 4-week degrees the same way as they would a more traditional route? I mean, and that's something that we still have to see, right? I mean, I think in some cases, if it says UW Tacoma and it doesn't say online or, whatever it is, that's one thing. But some of these other ones that are known as just these mills of, pumping out people with degrees that mean absolutely nothing.
Well,
as a future employer,
let's test it out. Right now, you're listening. Right now, you have a company and you only have 2 applications. One of the applications, one went to Wazoo, go Cougs. The other one went to Harvard. You have no background. You can't find out if that person got in as a legacy student or anything like that. The only thing you have is one is a graduate of Washington State. The other one is a graduate of Harvard. Which one will be the better employee? So if you're telling me you can't answer that question, then you can't answer the question of which one will be a better employee with a 4-week degree and a 4-year degree. Same thing. But I'd argue most people would assume that the better employee is the one that graduated from Harvard.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree.
That's the game. All right, Ursula, coming up next. Do you find yourself with slang? Tell the truth.
Okay. I used to use a lot more slang.
Yeah.
70s and 80s. There were words that I would use a lot more, and I guess we need to define what exactly slang is.
Yeah.
There are a few things that we use on the show as little phrases that you've come up with, and now I've adopted.
Yeah. Well, we got all generations that's doing this.
Yes.
I just know that my dad and his friends, I want to tell y'all about some of that slang.
Okay.
As a kid growing up, and they don't do that anymore. Right on, man. We're doing it next. Gee Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
If by like the 15th of October rolls around and suddenly there's a bolt of lightning and I croak out right there, I'm fine.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
My dream of growing a giant pumpkin is just a couple of months away. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows someone who got me the seed, the 1,500-pounder, baby. It's in a secret location. I don't want to say where it is.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
When did watching TV go from a way to relax to a complicated chore? Well, if you're sick of huge cable bills or endlessly searching for the show everyone's talking about, then welcome to Philo. Philo's the streaming service that respects both your time and your wallet, without needing to cut the stuff you actually love to watch. This means live TV for more than 70 channels like Hallmark, History, A&E, and Lifetime, plus a huge library of blockbuster movies and classic shows, and an easy-to-use unlimited DVR that lets you save anything you want and skip all the ads when you watch. The best part? You get all this for just $25 a month when you sign up at Philo.tv. No hidden fees, no long contracts, just a genuinely great deal. And new users can try it completely free for 7 days. So head to Philo.tv, that's PHILO.tv, and experience a better way to TV. Subscriptions auto-renew at monthly rate plus applicable taxes. Cancel anytime. See terms at philo.tv.
Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, April 25th. Find a collection site near you at deatakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But if you're looking for a truly golden view, look no further than the seats on the first baseline, a.k.a. Trident-Town. Post up behind the Mariners dugout, and you get a great view of Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, and our entire rotation at work.
Swing and a miss! Fastball upstairs, blew it by him, strike three.
Not to mention the best view of the best home run celebration in baseball. When the Trident goes up, you know a party's going down.
It is gone! Julio!
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
The Mariners homestand continues this week with 3 straight value games against the A's. Score seats for less than $12 tonight and tomorrow night at 6:40 and Wednesday afternoon at 1:10. Don't miss out. Lock in your seats and check out the complete Mariners value game schedule at mariners.com/value games.
Well, there's nothing I hate worse than being cold. And if your house is feeling a bit drafty or the floors of the main level are way too cold on your feet, that's probably because your crawl space and attic don't have enough insulation. It's probably making your furnace work overtime. So now you're spending more money as well. Well, how about a free and easy way to learn if you need better insulation? Just schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and attic with Crawl Pros. It's exactly what I did. They'll show up to your house. They'll go where you don't want to, certainly where I didn't want to, and they'll tell you if you got any problems with your crawl space, your attic, and especially your insulation. If they do discover your home is under or improperly insulated, they'll show you all the utility rebates as well to help you get that work done correctly and affordably. If you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could receive a rebate to cover up to 95% of the cost. Make your home more comfortable. Save on your energy bill with Crawl Pros. If you're worried that anything's going on in your crawl space or attic, critters, mold, water, plumbing issues, call Crawl Pros or go to crawlpros.com.
You can count on trusted local news and information from the Seattle Times, one of the few independent, locally owned news organizations in the country, right here in the Pacific Northwest. Subscribe today and don't miss a beat at seattletimes.com/subscribe.
This is Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. Having trouble with the government agency? Tired of dealing with red tape? I'll help you get the benefits you've earned. My office is here to help you with Social Security, Medicare, the VA, passports, and more. We've recovered millions of dollars for taxpayers and stand ready to help you. Call me at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage that big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250. Say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It is Gee and Ursula Show. Thurston County. Every time in the headlines, they're always chasing somebody. So coming up at 10 o'clock, the sheriff of Thurston County, my man,
Derek Sanders.
Derek Sanders will join the show. He joins us at 10 o'clock. But right now, here's what we need to talk about. It's no secret that different generations, their vernacular can get under our skins. It's easy to hate on Gen Z or Gen Alpha. Like, why are they telling me to slay? Or that I clocked it? Or that I'm Delulu? But to be fair, every generation has had their slang, and it was sure to have gotten on your parents' and their parents' nerve. You were just living in it right now, and you think it was cool. So recently, the page Classmates on Instagram broke down different generational slang, pointing out that words that you think are cool might just be a product of your generation's slang. So here, Sophia has a list of all this different slang in the years that they were used. And so see if we can make a little quiz out of it. So what do you got, Sophia?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to look at all the different generations because obviously if we start with Gen X, right, which is familiar to you guys, you have things like epic and rad and bogus and as if, and that was very much Gen X. But then if you go back to baby boomers, you got groovy, you got bummer, and then
I still say bummer.
I say bummer. I say all of these. But the one that gets me is the silent generation, which are those who are born between 1928 and 1945. You know, things that we say casually like scram, moxie, and swell
Ursula,
came from that.
I've heard you say bee's knees.
The bee's knees. That's all generation.
That wasn't
I think that's you.
No, that wasn't me.
No,
Somebody on the show said bee's knees.
Not me.
Okay.
But I have said, so I was just thinking about like what ones do I use? And I identify most, I've shared with you that I identify most with the 80s.
Right.
And what was big in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when we would say, okay, bogus, or that's lame? I still use bogus, lame. Mm-hmm. Do you remember when Valley Girl was a big thing? And people talked like Valley Girls?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You would give people social labels like dude or yuppie or preppy.
Yeah.
Other words that, unfortunately, I still use. Totally awesome. Or that's rad.
Here's the thing about Gen Z that bothers me.
Here we go. I'm ready. Don't worry.
Gen Z likes to take stuff and make it their own. Like, they have bet on the... Bet been going on since the early 90s.
Bet or Bible.
That's like Kardashian.
That is a Kardashian one.
Bible. That's what that one is.
Crashing out. They use that one. We've been using that for a long time. Now, if you really want to go, I don't know, back in when I was a kid, listening to my dad and him, man, you see that Foxy Mama? Yeah, they used to say things like that. Foxy Mama. That means she's a good-looking woman. Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, dude didn't show up. Man, that jive turkey. Now, if you've ever seen the movie Airplane, you can get all of that stuff on there. By the way, I suggest if you've never seen Airplane, go ahead and watch that. You get a little culture in your life.
Surely.
Okay, speaking of movies.
What you got?
Okay, what about this? Fill in the blank. I feel the need. From the 80s. I feel the need.
I don't know.
For speed.
Oh, I wouldn't have got that.
Okay, what about this one?
Okay.
How about this one? Wax on?
Wax off. Oh, yeah. Well, you're talking to a karate kid. I mean, that's one of my favorites. Right on. See, you caught that one right there.
Material Girl.
Is that 80s?
Yes.
That was 80s,
yes, because Madonna.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you that one kind of come back its own way. Like Material Girl.
So the reason why I'm bringing this up, because like those things that are being said that you listen to your parents say, obviously I thought my dad and his friends were cool. Yeah. So I would be talking that way. And I was a little kid saying that, but hey, can you dig it? You know what I'm saying? Can you understand?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Those kind of things. Now,
see, I've picked up a few just from doing the show with you.
Right. Now,
like, let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
That's one of my faves.
Now, have you used Slay? I haven't used Slay.
No, that's a Sophia word.
Yeah, Slay.
Okay. Slay.
On fleek.
No, that one's a little outdated. That's an outdated one that didn't carry on.
The other one that's outdated is, that's lit.
Yeah, well, I think the point of this conversation though is the idea that things that feel cringe or things that bother us because we're like, I can't believe that the kids these days are saying them. You were that kid at some point,
This
and
is
you
true.
were saying things that were cringy, and we all go through our phases. Every generation has its, its plethora of words.
Do people still know what? Okay, this is gross. Sorry, but do people still know what a loogie is?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
I
Okay.
think so.
I remember that was a big thing in the 80s.
I think
I'm
so.
sorry.
And Chris from Marysville reminds us in Airplane, the stewardess said, hey, I speak jive. Oh, she spoke jive. Yeah, on the right-hand side, brother. I think that as we move on, there's always some things that kind of catch, if you will. Have you used cap, Ursula? Like somebody get the line and you'd be like, a cap. That means they're lying.
I do not. No. And if I were to use something like that, you would stop in your tracks and go, okay, that doesn't even sound like you. Because I think the worst thing is to try to force something that doesn't naturally come up.
I will never forget the day that Ursula was like, for real, and we all stopped in our tracks.
Okay, so Jamestown and Eastlake, the Riz. Can you what's the Riz again?
It's like a shortened version of charismatic. If you're charismatic, you have Riz.
Oh, okay, kind of like that.
Yeah.
You got some Riz.
You got some Riz. Okay.
It sounds kind of dirty, though.
Sheriff of Thurston County. Sounds kind of thirsty? That was good. What?
I said dirty.
Oh, I'll tell you this. Thirsty.
Okay.
Sheriff Derek Sanders is going to join the show, and wait till you hear this story because this actually kind of makes you mad a little bit who they were chasing and why they were chasing this guy. We'll talk about it next. Again. And might chase him again. Next, Gee Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
If by like the 15th of October rolls around and suddenly there's a bolt of lightning and I croak out right there, I'm fine.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
My dream of growing a giant pumpkin is just a couple of months away. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows someone who got me the seed, the 1,500-pounder, baby. It's in a secret location. I don't want to say where it is.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
Get down with Casey and the Sunshine Band when they take the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Sunday, May 17th at 8 p.m. The iconic 70s group has toured around the world, and now they're bringing their blend of funk, disco, and R&B to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on May 17th. Get tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto-pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
It's difficult to trust someone with your loved one's care. Aegis Living earns your trust every single day. Voted best senior living in Western Washington and ranked #1 senior living community in all of America by Seniorly. Aegis sets the standard for luxury assisted living and award-winning memory care. Resort-style comfort with state-of-the-art AI fall prevention, a staff who loves what they do, and your loved ones. Schedule a tour today at aegisliving.com/KIRO. That's AEGIS living.com/KIRO and get a special take-home gift. Aegis Living. This must be the place.
Carpal tunnel syndrome.
heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Iran says it's not interested in a new round of talks with the U.S. as an American delegation is due in Pakistan. CBS News national security contributor Sam Vinograd.
If the Iranian regime does not send a delegation to Islamabad this time, it'll certainly make things less efficient and perhaps more than likely lengthen the time it'll take to share and receive messages back from the Iranians via the Pakistanis.
Well, CBS's Charlie Daggett reports Iran has labeled the U.S. military seizure of one of its cargo ships near the Strait of Hormuz as an act of piracy.
This is the first time the U.S. has actually seized a ship in that region. Although CENTCOM tells us they turned back around 25 of those ships back toward Iran or stop them from going to Iran.
Well, here at home, CBS's Jim Krasula has more on deadly gunfire this morning in North Carolina.
The North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation says at least 2 are dead after a planned fight involving young people escalated into a mass shooting at a park in Winston-Salem. It's not clear how many were shot. Police say the shooting suspects are still at large. The gun violence led to a lockdown at 2 nearby schools.
In Shreveport, Louisiana, police are investigating the case of a man who shot and killed 7 of his children and another child as well yesterday. Police say Shamar Elkins was fatally shot by authorities. CBS News law enforcement contributor Rodney Harrison.
How Mr. Elkins got a gun. Louisiana has less restrictive gun laws, but you need to look at, did he have a permit and how he became into possession of this firearm?
FBI Director Kash Patel suing the Atlantic magazine and a reporter for $250 million. CBS's Katrina Kaufman says it follows an article that alleged excessive drinking and raised concerns about his behavior.
There is a higher standard when you're a public figure, but they claim that there is actual malice here, which basically means that they think the Atlantic published this with knowledge that they were publishing false information. They did that knowingly, he said.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer acknowledges he made a mistake appointing Peter Mandelson as the UK ambassador to Washington. He says he was unaware Mandelson, who had ties to Jeffrey Epstein, had failed security checks.
If I had known before he took up his post that UKSV recommendation was that developed vetting clearance should be denied, I would not have gone ahead with the appointment.
Some in the House of Commons have called on Starmer to resign. Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 86 points. The S&P is down 29. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
We've been following this crash between Lime bicyclists and a pickup truck in North Seattle. We're going to update you in just a moment. But first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And it's not bad. We are recovering well from the morning commute. Linwood to Seattle, 39 minutes. That's usually our highest commute time. On the flip side, 27 minutes Federal Way to Seattle, and not too many things impacting the commute except for on 405 southbound, there was some emergency repair being done on the roadway there that was taking up a couple of lanes. It looks like it might be over now, but there is still a pretty tough backup from the 167 almost to the I-5 merge. So give yourself at least 5 extra minutes to get through just that area. In the northbound direction, we've got 19 minutes Renton to Bellevue. There is still some slowing through the Eves curves and a backup onto the 167 merge. There was a crash on 167. That has cleared. That's going to help a lot. Linwood to Bellevue, 31 minutes. Oh, and I did see this pop up. 405 southbound at 124th, the disabled vehicle blocking the center lane there. So I don't see a big backup in that spot. It looks like it's more of a distraction than anything else. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. A 30-year-old woman and a 28-year-old man are in critical condition after a crash on Aurora Avenue in Seattle. Seattle police say they were riding a Lime bike together and were unfamiliar with the streets in that area. They crossed Aurora Avenue at 4 a.m., not knowing there is a concrete Jersey barrier in the middle of the highway. Detective Brian Pritchard said they were hit by a pickup truck traveling southbound.
It was an accident. They were unfamiliar with the area. They, instead of taking a left here onto the sidewalk, they crossed over into this busy highway here.
A third person riding a separate bike was okay. Police say drugs, alcohol, and speed not factors. Deputies arrested a 14-time felon they say sped through Olympia at speeds up to 120 miles an hour.
Going north on Bethel, and he's slowing way down, might be going for a bail soon.
Thurston County Sheriff's deputies say he had a felony warrant and has been involved in at least 5 high-speed chases just in that area. Sheriff Derek Sanders is going to be live on the Gee and Ursula Show coming up with that story. The Everett Silvertips are back in Western Conference Championships after beating the Kelowna Rockets over the weekend. It's the first time in 8 years the Tips have made it this far in the Memorial Cup. Everett is coming off its best regular season in team history. They won 57 regular season games against only 8 losses. And it's Seattle Restaurant Week.
Dozens of restaurants around the city are offering special discounted menus starting at $20. You can search for restaurants at different price points, by cuisine or by neighborhood.
That's KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon. Now we're going to check your weather, and it's going to be warm but cloudy. 73 degrees, overnight lows in the low 50s or high 40s all week. We've got some showers midweek before a great weekend. It's 59 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Monday to all of you. I hope you had a great weekend, but I heard that sun is going to be out this week, so enjoy. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. Yes, enjoying the 70-plus degree weather that we're going to have today. I think it's going to take a little break, but it's going to come back by the weekend. So don't fret if you feel a big change tomorrow. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
What's new at 10?
And we learned of another high-speed chase in Thurston County, this one topping 120 miles an hour. The man behind the wheel, a 14-time convicted felon wanted for domestic violence. Now, this is just the latest in a string of high-profile pursuits in the area, and we wanted to talk to the Thurston County Sheriff, Derek Sanders, who is joining us now live on the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, guys.
Thank you for joining us again. So let's start with this case. 120 miles an hour through North Olympia. I mean, that sounds like it was a very dangerous situation. Describe what happened.
Deputies located an individual who was wanted for assault second-degree domestic violence, which is a felony. And when they tried to pull him over, he fled at speeds conservatively at 120. It was probably faster than that, given the kind of vehicle he was driving. And that pursuit lasted approximately 15 minutes. We're able to get an airplane overhead and tried to disable the vehicle, but still got away. And then the airplane was able to track him after he bailed on foot, and we took him into custody.
Sheriff, 120 miles an hour, and you said it might have been faster than that, and for 15 minutes. What's the trade-off for public safety in this situation?
For the domestic violence victim, and it's for the next victim. He's a 14-time convicted felon. I believe this is his 5th high-speed chase, just that he's been incarcerated for. And I believe he's got 6 or 7 prior assaults. So the fact that this is a violent individual who's not going to stop running, he's not going to stop hitting people. He clearly has a problem keeping his hands to himself. Our focus is on why he continues to get released. Why are we on 14, 15, 16, 25, 35, 50? How many felonies?
So in this particular case, I understand it was also $1,500 bail. It was higher, but he only had to come up with $1,500. You have been very vocal about this. Talk about that.
Yeah, I always have to preface this conversation that 99% of the people who get booked into jail should be released on their own recognizance and sent on their way. Many of the people that we book into jail on a day-to-day basis, we never see again. How we are dealing with the 1% of people that I just described, the 15, 30, 40-time convicted felons, people being arrested for their 99th time, how we are managing that as a state is a failure. It is. It's genuinely a failure. I have to keep dialing this in. We're not talking about shoplifting suspects who, are hungry. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people who steal cars, who burglarize homes, who stab other people, who kill other people. The amount of people I've come across lately who are convicted felons for murder is baffling. So these aren't old people either. These are people who are in their 30s and 40s who are still racking up more felonies. And you can just see it up and down the I-5 corridor. The stories just continue to break.
You're listening to the voice of Thurston County Sheriff Derek Sanders here on the Gee and Ursula Show. So if right now you could change one law tomorrow to stop that revolving door, maybe there's folks that are listening. Which one would that be specifically? What would you change right now?
Unfortunately, it's not a law. It's an amendment to our Constitution. So what I would change is I would switch to a threat to public safety or no type bail system. There's lots of conversations about bail reform. And quite frankly, in my career, I've watched poor people unable to bail out of jail, even though they weren't really a major threat to public safety, right? Maybe a petty thief. I've also watched some really wealthy people bail out on homicide charges. So to me, this is not a just system that we have. What we should be asking judges to do is, instead of trying to gauge, whether or not the person has a job and if they're rooted here or if they live here, or what they could afford to bail out, if they could, we should just ditch all of that and go to a system that asks 2 questions, or really 1 question. 2 questions I think would be a better system. 1, are you going to show up at your next court date based on your prior history? And 2, are you a threat to community safety? Those are the only 2 questions I care about when it comes to whether or not someone's going to be released on preliminary hearing. Are you a threat to community safety? If you are a threat to community safety, and I'm going to argue, if you're a 14-time convicted felon and you like to hurt people and go in high chases that you're a threat to community safety, just get held until your trial. And if you're not, we release you. Let's get you back out, keep you employed, do all the things that we should be doing for people who are going through the criminal justice system that we know reduces recidivism. The question I have is, at what point in time does the safety of our public and our victims matter more than one person's individual liberty?
This is Thurston County Sheriff Derek Sanders. Now, this isn't the first high-speed chase we've seen lately in your county. Are they becoming more frequent or just more visible because you are bringing them to our attention?
I definitely bring them to the attention. I would say that it ebbs and flows. In the wintertime when it's cold, wet, and rainy, it kind of goes down. And then during the summertime, sometimes people decide that they're going to test it out. I can tell you that the availability of air support lately has been really great with Washington State Patrol's airplane Smokies. That helps. But it kind of ebbs and flows. So over the last couple months, we kind of saw a decrease, then an uptick for a week now. And we'll continue to see that ebb and flow.
Sheriff, listen, man, I just got to say, I hear everything that you're saying. There needs to be change, like you said, down in Olympia to prevent that. And I love your 2 questions, because you guys going 120 miles an hour, that ain't safe for the public. And I know you guys are trying to get someone that's dangerous. Having air support and all of the use of taxpayer dollars, that doesn't help the taxpayers and the public as well. So my last question would be that simple thing that you said. Is this person going to come to court? And 2, is this person a threat to our community. You made it sound so simple, and I agree with those questions. What would be the pushback to something so damn simple?
Well, I think I've talked to a lot of judges throughout the state, really trying to get, like, is this a law issue? Is this a court rule? And what I have to do, just my own personal opinion, is that this is a philosophical issue of the interpretation of our current court rules. Take almost the exact same scenario, go down south, Centralia PD, another pursuit you guys were talking about. We got into this big pursuit. I actually terminated that pursuit based on how they were driving because there was more traffic. It was earlier in the night. State Patrol's airplane was overhead. They tracked the suspect. We found them, captured them. Because that individual initially fled from Centralia PD, they were sent back to Lewis County Jail. They were booked in for a looting. They were not a 14-time convicted felon with as many violent assaults, $500,000 bail. It's a philosophical issue. And so you can see how it's very subjective, county to county, judge to judge. And that's where I'm getting frustrated with this, is that don't tell me it's a law issue. Don't tell me it's a court rule issue. It's a philosophical issue. So
it's at the judge's level is basically what you're saying. It is judge's interpretation where some are lenient and some are much harsher.
And we expect that. There are sheriffs who are more lenient than harsh. I mean, that's what you're going to get with elected officials. But what I don't believe is that certain elected officials are beyond reproach or can't be criticized in their official duties. I don't believe that.
No, certainly not. Okay, for folks who are listening, what should they do? Like, what would I do if I am suddenly in the middle of a high-speed pursuit? What do you advise people listening right now?
Predictability is the big thing. The suspect and law enforcement are needing predictability in those scenarios. So what we don't want is, rash decisions without turn signals. That's bad. So I would argue that many times the best thing you can do is just maintain your course of direction. Obviously, when a law enforcement vehicle pulls behind you, you pull to the right and use a turn signal so that we understand what your decision making is going to do. But I'll be real honest, it's not just car chases. In fact, it's more often than not car chases. If you're driving around, you should be attentive to what's going on. Whether it's an impaired driver or a distracted driver, I don't drive through green lights like I used to. I guess I've just been hit too many times, but man, driving through green intersections, I'm looking both ways before I continue through.
Sheriff Derek Sanders from Thurston County, we always appreciate you joining us, especially on short notice today. Thank you so much.
Likewise, I appreciate you guys.
Hey, Sheriff, don't think I'm going to be seeing you at them galas and dressing up in them pictures, man. I be seeing you. I be seeing them galas, man.
We try to get out there. We try to get out there and show our face.
All right.
I appreciate you guys.
All right,
Thank
man.
you.
Now, Ursula, before we move on, I just want to say, I really hope that people in Olympia hear that.
Yes.
Because, look, 15 minutes, 120. He said 120 miles per hour was conservative.
14, again, and it was very clear, and I heard him loud and clear. He's also saying judges need to do a better job when you're using your discretion. You see someone who's been in and out of the court system. What is going to stop them if they can bail out after $1,500?
I agree. And this is domestic violence. So it should be taken serious.
Yes.
We saw, unfortunately, the tragic news that happened down in Shreveport, Louisiana, where a domestic violence father came and shot and killed 8 kids between the ages of 1 and 14. So when this right here, and what Sheriff Sanders is saying is look, the 1%, I'm talking about the 1% that are out here, violence and everything.
Yes.
Why are we making it so easy for them to get out?
Yes, it's ridiculous. And it's at all levels of government and also judges. Okay, let's talk about what is happening in the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most critical shipping lanes in the world, as you all know by now. And right now, it's anything but stable. So did you hear over the weekend that the U.S. seized an Iranian cargo ship? And Iran is now calling that a violation of the ceasefire and now is warning of retaliation. And I know that you closely watch the stock market, and so that was rattling global markets. I don't know what's happening as of right now, this moment, but because 20% of the world's oil moves through the Strait of Hormuz, Even partial disruptions can send prices climbing when it comes to oil, as you know. And right now, negotiations are hanging by a thread. Talks are still, I guess, technically on the table, but Iran was saying they might not even show up after this latest escalation, while the U.S. is saying we're going to continue moving forward. And one of the things that, again, there are other, it's not just what is going on over there, but the effects that we're having over here, whether it is gas prices, food prices. And this is Dr. Celine Gounder, who is CBS's medical correspondent. And she is saying the Strait of Hormuz closure is also a predictor of likely shortages of some pharmaceuticals in the near future.
Almost all drug ingredients come from petrochemicals. India supplies a large share of the world's generic, and India gets about 40% of its oil through the Strait of Hormuz.
I mean, I didn't even think about that.
Every time we talk about this, Ursula, and obviously I'm not the only one. I think collectively you can see around the country the frustration behind what's going on. In 2015, there was a deal that was in place that Barack Obama, the president at the time, put in place. And then in 2018, Donald Trump ripped up that deal. And here we are, 8 years later, because Donald Trump said he'd get a better deal. And 8 years later, we're at war. That's where we are right now. The Strait of Hormuz being closed. Donald Trump just said a few minutes ago that the ceasefire deal is going to be coming to an end on Wednesday, and he does not look to extend that. So I'm going to ask this plain and simple. I've been asking this the entire time, so I want to ask it a different way. What kind of deal will be gotten that was already in place in 2015? What is the deal? It reminds me also of the big, beautiful bill. It reminds me of ripping up Obamacare. It reminds me of, because the big, beautiful bill, that whole deal, we will see 15 plus million Americans lose access to health care. And forget the politics. Throw out the politics and everything. They tore up a deal to get us in this situation. This is a very sad, awful thing. And oh, by the way, the people of Iran that are going through this hard time, bless their hearts. I mean, it's really a sad thing. Guess what? The same, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed there. The Strait of Hormuz is technically closed. Just today, oil prices are up 7%. Like, what did we gain? What is the plan? And we don't even know what to believe. You got this being said. It's almost crazy where, I'll ask you this, Ursula. What do you believe? Because sometimes you hear in Iran news, they say certain things. Our federal administration, they say things. We have 13 officers, military, that have been killed in the last 8 weeks. We had a school, 150 plus people that were killed. We've had soldiers that have been hurt. Lives changed forever. For what?
And that's what the only thing I know is that all of it is unclear, especially what the end game is. And, right now there is also a lot of pressure within the Republican Party and some of President Trump's formerly staunchest supporters who are backing out saying, yeah, this is not what we wanted. I keep hoping for something positive to come out of it, but I've yet to see what that is.
Same. Because the reason why you're looking for something positive, because both you and I live in this country.
Yes.
Because
we all should want something. Yes, something to be gained out of this for the cost of lives, the cost of taxpayer money, the cost of relations.
Yeah, because
ultimately, you want to see that there is going to be a regime change and a removal of this horrific regime that has inflicted a lot of pain and has caused a lot of the terrorism, that we see around the world. But that's not what we're seeing just yet.
No.
And that's what is so worrisome.
All right, Ursula. Got a lot to talk about.
We do. We're lighting it up, though.
Yeah, we're lighting it up. 10:47. We'll have scenarios. And up next, why we can't sit alone with our thoughts anymore. Are you comfortable in silence? Oh, we'll talk about that next. Gee and Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
If by like the 15th of October rolls around and suddenly it's a bolt of lightning and I croak out right there, I'm fine.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
My dream of growing a giant pumpkin is just a couple of months away. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows someone who got me the seed, the 1,500-pounder, baby. It's in a secret location. I don't want to say where it is.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
This is Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. I'm working to lower costs, grow the middle class, keep us safe, and defend our freedom. I'm also here to help you with the IRS, Social Security, Medicare, the VA, passports, and more. We've recovered over $16 million for taxpayers and look forward to helping you. Call me at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PASS to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
You can count on the Seattle Times for trusted local news and information. The Seattle Times is one of the few independent, locally owned news organizations in the country right here in the Pacific Northwest. Take a closer look with the Seattle Times. Dig into investigative journalism that holds those in power accountable. Discover a new perspective. Gain a deeper understanding. Learn something new about where we live. Subscribe today and don't miss a beat at seattletimes.com/subscribe.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Jillian Raftery. Will there be peace talks today with Iran? That is still a question after the U.S. is accused of breaking a ceasefire by boarding an Iranian cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz. CBS News' Charlie D'Agata reports from Tel Aviv.
This morning, Iranian officials described the capture of that merchant vessel as a hijacking and an act of piracy. Again, we know that ship had been identified under U.S. sanctions, but it's not exactly clear what it was carrying.
Both sides say they are closing the strait as a result. Patrick DeHaan, chief petroleum analyst at GasBuddy, says to expect gas prices to go up as soon as this afternoon.
That's down about 6 cents from last week. It's still about $1.11 higher than it was last year. Washington continues to be one of the most expensive states in the country. Average gas price is $5.32. That's the third most expensive in the nation.
Some people also worry about shortages of medical supplies that ship through the strait. 2 people are dead in North Carolina after a group met at a park for a fight today. It put schools on lockdown and police are still searching for a suspect. This follows an awful shooting in Shreveport, Louisiana, where investigators say a father shot 7 of his children and one of their cousins. Then he shot his wife and another woman. Tabitha Taylor is the chair of the Shreveport City Council.
The mothers that are the survivors, because there are 3 mothers at this point, one is in surgery at this time, that are going to be faced with immense pain.
The shooter was shot dead by police after a car chase. In North Seattle, police are searching for a suspect in a stabbing that happened on the edge of an encampment. A man was stabbed in the chest. He says his attacker was a total stranger and may have been in his 30s. Police are investigating what led up to that confrontation. Now we're going to check your traffic. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, and we're looking pretty decent across the map. Most of our slowing has dissipated, especially on our north-south routes. The slowing on I-5 northbound only starts from about the West Seattle Bridge into downtown Seattle. We do have slowing beginning in Northgate in the southbound direction, and that's because of the Ship Canal construction area, but Lake bridges are clear. That slowing on 405 southbound leading up to I-5 is still there. There was some maintenance there earlier, but it's only going to cost you a couple minutes now. And there's still some residual slowing through the S-curves, but not nearly as bad as your morning commute. This report brought to you by Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. This month, when you install a new AC or heat pump, you'll get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Scheduled today at dayandnight.net. We are going to stay cloudy today, although the weather will be nice and warm at a high of 73. Showers move in tomorrow with a high of just 60. It's 59 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is 10:33, and you're listening to the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Monday to all of you. And this is going to be kind of a funny segment because we're going to talk about how hard it is to sit in silence and how it's just harder and harder for us today to have those stretches of silence. And we're talking about it as you're listening to the radio, and we do not want you to sit in silence. Okay. And in fact, if you only listen to us a couple days a week, we want you to listen to us all 5 days, okay? Yeah, just give us one more day. Just give us one more day. But anyway, there's this new report in the Washington Post, and it highlights this growing concern because Americans, they say, spend nearly 4 hours every single day listening to audio. And it's like a crutch. It's something that we need. And this report finds that the number of American adults listening to radio and podcasts is at an all-time high, which we love to hear.
Okay.
And this was interesting. Radio, even though we keep talking about radio dying out, it still does dominate podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
But the experts, and the reason this is supposed to be a concern is that they're saying that nonstop audio, it's like a dopamine hit. It's like the same reward that you get when you're constantly on your phone. Like if you're waiting, let's say, in line, do you feel like you automatically, if you have to wait for more than a minute, do you automatically grab your phone and start scrolling around?
Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. I do.
I have to stop myself because it's automatic.
Yeah, sometimes.
But they're saying that over time that can lead to tolerance and even, if you're always triggered by those rapid dopamine hits, it's harder and harder to chill, basically. And I would imagine, without even looking at the details in this report, I'm going to bet that they're talking about that adds to anxiety, that adds to just this inability to be with yourself. Inability.
Well, leave it to me to attack generations.
Oh, boy. Sophia,
I sat up,
knows
by the
to
way.
be ready. Okay.
The silent generation, baby boomers, and Gen X, we're fine. Because we know a lot of life without all of those things. You see what I'm saying? Like, raise your hand right now, and I know I can't see you, but raise your hand if you was watching TV and the TV turned off and you could not watch TV anymore. You guys remember back in the day when the TV turned off?
We remember that. We remember the bars. We remember the national anthem, all that stuff. We remember that. But I think we have also been conditioned.
Hold on. I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
And then remember having only one TV in the house. And if you were a younger sibling, you had no pool. So you often had to go sit in silence. Oh, how about you latchkey kids? Shout out to all the latchkey kids, and maybe your electricity was off for a little bit, or maybe you didn't have a TV. My point is, Ursula, our generation, we can sit in silence. These young kids don't know what that's like. They don't know what it's like to only have 3 channels. They don't know what it's like, because if the family is watching this on TV, they don't want to watch it. They go in their room with the old iPads. They didn't get Happy Meals growing up. They got iPads in their hands. So they are the ones that can't sit in silence.
Yeah, you know who's to blame for that too? Us parents. I
didn't say who's to blame. I'm just telling you about these dang on kids.
Okay, well, let's let Sophia, because she's now been silent for a minute.
Yeah, I've been sitting not in silence. To argue to that point, though, I will say that you brought up television. I mean, how many times have you walked into, a grandma or grandpa's house and the TV never is off? The TV is always on. This is less about, having the iPad and people being on technology. It's more so about the constant need for that dopamine hit of having something in the background, having something around, a voice talking to you, a sound, not sitting in complete, utteral silence. And I think you see that generationally, even for other generations, for older generations, that there's a TV on in the background. It's true. There's a radio on in the background.
And what I think has happened, and psychologists and therapists in our listening audience, tell me if this is true. I think for a lot of people too, when you are finally forced to be sitting in silence. For those of us who have those racing thoughts, that's tough. That is sometimes the hardest time because a lot of times we use it as a crutch to drown out everything else that's going on. And then when you're alone in your thoughts, which I think is actually very important. I love what Brad from Grand Mound says.
What did he say?
That he says a couple of weeks ago he decided to quit his smartphone. I treat it like a regular phone. I leave it in one spot of the house, and I just check the text 2 or 3 times a day, and it feels great. Think of how much time you would be giving back to yourself.
Let me get back to bashing generations.
Yeah, okay.
And listen, they don't know what it's like to, let's just say there's a TV, there's no remote, right? So as a child, you're asked to come from out of your room and change the channel for that parent that's sitting on the couch. Then there was antennas, right? With the foil. Sometimes you'd have to hold it because if you move
with the foil,
they don't know nothing about that. So what I'm trying to say
you know what
is,
else they don't know about?
What they don't know about?
Party lines. They also don't know about having. Yeah, but do you remember with the TV? Do you remember also the big wooden box
that didn't work?
Yeah, and then you have to go.
Oh yeah. Or how many of you guys had that wooden the TV, the big floor model TV that cost that weighed a ton?
Yes.
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
But on top of it, that was your TV. So that was your TV stand. So the thing is these young Gen Z kids, all they've ever known. Now, our addiction, Ursula, that you're talking about, that just started. They've had their addiction their entire life.
Okay, I told you, yes, but this is what I'm telling you, and it's not just the young folks. So I'm gonna fend for Sophia and her generation.
Thank you. I'm tired.
Because 425 says, I cannot sleep without KIRO on all night. Racing thoughts. People are drowning out whatever's going on in their head, and they just want that input. Again, I'm 64. Well, actually,
I mean, I'm 60. Most of the people in the text line are not of my generation. I would argue because we grew up with it, we kind of know how to work with it a little bit more.
No, you don't.
Listen,
you guys are not better at handling silence than we older folks. All we had was silence. The TV used to turn off. How you on a Saturday and the TV turn off at 11 o'clock and you get them little color lines?
Have you ever gotten that notification from Netflix that says, "Are you still there?" We understand the struggle.
Yes, we do.
No, they don't.
You know how many times that woman keeps popping up and like, are you scrolling again?
I know why y'all are obsessed with dating yourselves constantly, okay?
I know.
What's my man name?
Cash.
Wait.
Cash is running the board and he's doing great.
Time out.
Yeah.
Bruh, your name Cash for real?
It is, yeah. Birth certificate, CASH.
Now, y'all know, I know Nick back there like, oh boy, I knew that was going to happen. Cash? That's the best name in the world, man. Cash? I'll be screaming. Hey, I'll never forget your name, Cash. Hey, coming up next, it's time for Scenarios. Gee Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
If by like the 15th of October rolls around and suddenly there's a bolt of lightning and I croak out right there, I'm fine.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
My dream of growing a giant pumpkin is just a couple of months away. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows someone who got me the seed, the 1,500-pounder, baby. It's in a secret location. I don't want to say where it is.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute, non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendinitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee.
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Right now, get a free furnace with the purchase of a premium heat pump and air cleaning package at CM Heating. Start today with an always free estimate. There's no beating CM Heating for heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical. Go to cmheating.com.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from. But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work. And they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. What a good conversation about who can sit in silence and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was good. That was good stuff. All right, let's get to scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I'm having a fight with my boyfriend, and I'm sure I'm right on this, but he agreed that I would bring it to your show, and we'd let you and your audience settle it. Over the holidays back around Christmas time, he accidentally butt dialed his ex. I know because I saw when he was on the phone that she was his last call. He insists that it was a butt dial. But I did a little investigation when his phone was unattended and the call lasted about 11 minutes. And it happened at 12:30 a.m. when he was out with his buddies. He swears it was accidental and he never actually talked to her. So I asked him to show me his social media and text messages. He refused and told me I needed to trust him. But I'm just not sure he's trustworthy. What should I do here? 888-973-5476. Ursula, you up the bat first. Oh, that's the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line.
Go with your gut instinct. He's not trustworthy. Butt dial while you're out with friends that lasts 11 minutes is not believable. A. B. He is already giving you reasons to doubt his story and his question. So you have to ask yourself, why are you doubting it? Because you don't trust him.
Right. This one is, I think you win. Like, you got to go with your gut right there, And there's probably other things that have happened.
Absolutely.
That on top of this, I don't think that this was just the only thing. Now, is it possible to butt dial some random folks? Yes, and I've done it.
I have too, but my exes? I've yet to butt dial an ex.
Neither have.
That would have been a long time ago.
Okay, I just want to say, neither have I.
Yeah.
However, have you guys butt dialed some random people before?
Yes.
Because I have. Now,
but again,
random
that
butt dial
number has to be in your contacts
at 12:30 a.m. for 11 minutes. That's a long butt dial. But again, well, let's see what Gen Z never checks their text messages anyway or checks their phone. So let's see what they have to say.
Man, you're really, really on one today, G. No, I mean, the thing is, butt dials do happen, but more often than not, they're going to happen to people that are recently in your contact list or your call log. You can call someone randomly, but it feels a little too coincidental in this case. And so maybe it was a butt dial, and maybe the ex was on the other side of the line trying to listen in for 11 minutes, but I don't know. I think it's a little suspicious.
Okay. Ursula, if
11 minutes at midnight while he's out with friends. No, that's an intentional call.
I don't even know I'm asking this question.
Okay, yeah.
Because I know the answer to this.
Okay.
Have you ever been butt dialed before, Ursula? Has somebody ever butt dialed you? When they butt dial you and you realize it's potentially a butt dial, do you stay on the phone and listen?
I have. The only time I'll be honest. One time I did stay on. It was not decipherable. I was curious. So why is this person calling? And there was a lot of chitter chatter.
Yeah.
But I didn't get anything out of it. So I didn't bust someone. But I know you did. I could tell just from the. Have you?
I hang up every time.
Mm-hmm.
I hang up.
Yeah.
So, you might hear something you don't want to hear.
That's exactly why you hang on.
That's why you hang on the line.
That's why you're hanging on.
I hang up. Now, I'm curious if you're listening right now, have someone ever butt dialed you and you stayed on the phone and you listened?
And then you got bitten by it? Found out something you didn't want to know? Then I would argue that you should have heard it and it's good. It saves you heartache in the future if you find out someone's talking about you in a negative way as you're listening to. I mean, there's been one other time where it went on and I kept yelling and screaming, trying to say, "Hey, I'm still here. I'm still here." And they never caught on. I was like, okay, I'm just going to give up.
This is one of those things that could it happen? Yes, about the butt dial at 12:30 a.m.
Not likely.
Not likely. 12:30.
It's possible, not probable.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Out with the buddies.
Yeah, and you already have something in your gut telling you. Because didn't he react negatively and say, just trust me?
Yeah.
No, he's doing nothing to try to earn your trust.
360 texts in says, my ex-wife purse dialed me from a bar. I yelled and whistled and finally hung up. It did last for a few minutes, though.
Yep.
I guess. But who would listen? I'm with Ty from the 808. If it's a butt dial.
I'm not listening for 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Unless there's something really juicy.
Yeah, that's kind of
But even that, I don't know.
I want to take this time. I need to give an apology.
What's that?
You guys remember, Sophia's been with us for a little while. And
yes.
Remember Sophia had the roommate and she's dating the guy.
Yes.
That was coming over.
We met her. She's so fantastic.
She's amazing.
Yes.
But I was giving the guy a hard time and all that stuff. So I just want to take this time to apologize.
Oh, what got in your heart today?
Well, I haven't had time to, but Sophia brought it to my birthday party, and she came up and she says, "See, look, G." And so she had him. He was a picture on her cell phone. I looked at the guy. I was like, okay. I said, I told her I was going to give her.
She's in love.
I know.
Well, maybe I better zip it.
I mean, you guys are just chit-chatting on the radio. They're going to appreciate the commentary, though. I like to see you go full circle, G. I like to see you go full circle.
Oh, okay. I'm just, you had that look like they ain't together no more.
No, they're together. They're together. Yeah.
So I just want to say I was a little sketchy on him at first. Gave him a hard time. And so full circle, they're still together.
Nice.
Seems like when I saw the picture, he seems like a swell fella. Now, what generation was that swell?
70s.
All right, we'll get up out of here. Cash, thanks a lot, man. You've been doing a great job today, Cash.
Seriously, smooth operator.
Yeah, Cash getting busy. All right, in the 11 o'clock hour, Luke Ducey is going to join us, and there has been some research done about what is on our streets. Is it meth? Is it fentanyl? We're going to be talking about all that next. Gee and Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
If by like the 15th of October rolls around and suddenly there's a bolt of lightning and I croak out right there, I'm fine.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
My dream of growing a giant pumpkin is just a couple of months away. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows someone who got me the seed, the 1,500-pounder, baby. It's in a secret location. I don't want to say where it is.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Every 2 minutes, an American is sexually assaulted. Be the someone who gives their time. Be the someone who lends an ear. Be the someone who takes a step. This is Christina Ricci with RAIN, asking you to join the fight against sexual violence and volunteer in your community. Log on to RAIN.org, that's RAINN.org, to learn how you can be the someone.
This message brought to you by the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network and this station.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. Northwest News.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity Medical Clinic?
No, I don't want to do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explained this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
My name is Carlos, and I'm a Cub Scout. I'm here to talk to you today about becoming a scout like me. Cub Scouts get badges for doing fun activities, and we make friends. Scouts go camping, climbing, and fishing, and swimming together. We play sports and go to parades. Scouts also help people and become the best versions of themselves. Visit bascout.org to find a pack near you, get any questions answered, and sign up for Cub Scouts online.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Wendy Gillette. Vice President J.D. Vance and other negotiators are heading to Pakistan for a second round of peace talks, but it's unclear if their counterparts in Iran will be there amid growing tensions over the Strait of Hormuz. CBS's Natalie Brand reports from the White
House. Iran's regime essentially said that, there's not plans as of now for this second round of negotiations, but also added the caveat that no decision has yet been made. So obviously, we're going to have to wait and see how this unfolds over the next 24 hours. The president was asked about this in a new phone call with PBS News, and he said that he doesn't know if Iran is still participating in the talks, saying they're supposed to be there, but if they're not, that's fine too.
U.S. Central Command says Marines fired shots at and seized an Iranian tanker yesterday. The military says the ship violated a U.S. blockade. Correspondent Charlie D'Agata is in Tel Aviv, Israel.
This morning, Iranian officials described the capture of that merchant vessel as a hijacking in an act of piracy. Again, we know that ship had been identified under U.S. sanctions, but it's not exactly clear what it was carrying.
Police say a fight among young people turned into a mass shooting at a park near downtown Winston-Salem, North Carolina this morning. Police have not yet revealed the number of victims. A Louisiana man killed 7 of his own children and another child yesterday morning. Shreveport City Council Chairperson Tabitha Taylor.
And the family wanted us to express to you all to allow them to grieve and to go through this process, because this is not a process that is easy for them by any means.
Britain's Prime Minister is fighting for his political life.
I'm Vicky Barker in London.
Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
Starmer came to Parliament to once again insist he had no idea Peter Mandelson had failed a security check when he made him ambassador to the U.S. But there was one thing he was prepared to own.
I should not have appointed Peter Mandelson.
Starmer later fired Mandelson over revelations in the Epstein files, now apologizing to Epstein's victims, whom he said he had failed in choosing to hire Mandelson at all. If Starmer's found to have lied to Parliament about the case, he'll have to resign.
President Trump signed an executive order over the weekend easing research restrictions on psychedelics. John Kesselman is with High Times magazine.
It is not a false flag. It's just the government admitting that there is legitimate medical benefit to cannabis and now also various psychedelics. The research has already proven this. It's just the government finally catching up with reality.
On Wall Street, stocks are down. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
An early morning crash between a Lime bike and a car. We'll tell you all about that in just a moment. But first, KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic, and we're looking pretty good. Not a whole lot of problems out there. We still have this lingering. Oh, and it looks like it cleared up right before my very eyes. We had some maintenance on 405 southbound in Tukwila that was causing some pretty serious slowing between 167 and I-5, and that has wrapped up and it's gone. The backup is gone, and even the S-curve's backup is gone. So that pretty much wraps up the extent of our issues. We're entering to Bellevue right now, 15 minutes. It's pretty much a speed limit drive from Federal Way to Seattle. Linwood to Seattle, 18 minutes. 18 minutes, that's it. And Linwood to Bellevue, 18 minutes. So if you need to take a midday appointment or go pick something up, now's a great time to just zip out and back. The South Sound's a speed limit commute, and so is the North Sound. This report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Randy Johnson number retirement ceremony night presented by T-Mobile is Saturday, May 2nd. Remember that, May 2nd. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. 2 cyclists are in critical condition after a crash on Aurora Avenue in Seattle. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more.
3 people traveling together on Lime bikes. 1 turned left on a sidewalk, 2 others on the same bike. Detective Brian Pritchard with SPD tells us continued across Aurora, not knowing about a Jersey barrier trapping them on 99 with a pickup truck headed right toward them.
It was an accident. They were unfamiliar with the area. They, instead of taking a left here onto this sidewalk, they crossed over into this busy highway here.
The 30-year-old woman and 28-year-old man were last listed in critical condition at Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A 14-time felon led deputies on a chase through Olympia, reaching 120 miles an hour, according to investigators. They tried spike strips and even a controlled crash. The Thurston County Sheriff's deputies arrested the man finally when he bailed out and ran after driving down a dead-end road.
You're under arrest. For what? Felony elude. Are you kidding me? And your felony warrants. Dude, our airplane's been watching you this whole time.
Thurston County Sheriff Derek Sanders says this man has been involved in at least 5 high-risk car chases. This is a warning we give almost every year. The weather may be getting warmer, but rivers and lakes in our region are still very cold and running very high. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas reports on a rescue on the Green River Sunday afternoon.
Crews in South King County jumping into action for a river rescue. First responders from several local agencies called to Green Valley Road near Metzler Park along the Green River. When they got there, found a man and his dog stuck in the water. Firefighters able to get both out safely and back to shore. And the good news here, no one was hurt.
It's not your imagination. Allergy season appears to be stretching longer, 31 days longer on average, to be precise, in the Northwest. That from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. The report obtained by the Seattle Times says warmer winters and hotter summers have meant longer growing seasons and more pollen. Now your weather report, going to stay dry, cloudy, and warm at 73 degrees today, rain tomorrow. It's 59 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula, good morning to you.
Good morning. Hey, coming up at 11:30, we are going to do, of course, our Agree to Disagree segment. And one of the things we're going to talk about is a summer reset. I feel like we're just getting into spring.
Wait, summer reset?
Why are we talking about a summer reset? Sophia, why are we talking about a summer reset?
A mentality.
Oh, see. Gotcha. Okay.
By the way, Ursula. Don't think I didn't see Danny text you today.
She said I look like J-Lo.
She did. I saw that.
Okay, our guest, Luke Ducey's in studio, and he looks like he's just saw a ghost. Okay. Well, I think it's the green.
Yeah,
I think it's the green.
A good fit, though.
Yeah.
Great fit.
Thank you.
Great fit.
You know what? I'm taking advantage of the fact that it's going to be in the 70s today.
Okay.
Hello.
Yep.
So welcome spring. Text us. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
And the reason we have Luke Ducey in studio right now is because we saw this story on mynorthwest.com. It's about this new survey from the University of Washington that finds injection drug use across the region has dropped dramatically, according to this survey, with meth now surpassing fentanyl as the most commonly used drug. So, Luke, I know there was a purpose for this study as well, but even just that finding alone surprised me.
Yeah, I think it surprised a lot of people, to be honest with you. It perked our interest as well. Yes, that meth is now surpassed fentanyl, and that, the argument out of the survey comes in some of the findings that maybe stable housing should be, instead of sobriety, should be the focus for policymakers going forward on this. Now, we found, though, that there's a more complicated story. So the same day that we ran that story, I went out on the street here, just across the street from the studio, really, because that's where I found Ryan. I passed him when I was walking in to work, and then I went back out and talked with him and met him. He lives on the streets. He was sitting there with his dog, charging his electronic devices from an outlet on the outside of a building. I asked him, what does he see? Does he see more meth or more fentanyl? He told me by far more fentanyl on the streets.
Everybody has it everywhere. It's everywhere. And literally you go on the third Street or 12th and Jackson or any of the needle exchanges. There's tons of people that have it, and they just hang out there, and it's like you can't even walk by there without somebody asking you. And any of the Plymouth buildings, it's everywhere.
So what I found interesting was that he not only said, yes, it's fentanyl, but he named all the places where you can go and get fentanyl. Yeah,
12th and Jackson, and then Plymouth. Just describe Plymouth when he refers to Plymouth for people who don't know. It's Plymouth housing.
Oh, yeah, right.
So, so it's essentially where a lot of the unhoused will go when you're talking about housing first. Mm-hmm. And so they run a lot of these buildings.
In-treatment, out-treatment programs kind of with wraparound services, which is also interesting because out of this survey, Seattle's policies really do kind of mirror what's coming out of these surveys.
Well, can you get into that? I know G has a bunch of questions to you because, then the correlation was made. Well, this shows that the housing first approach, okay, call me a skeptic, but fill in the blanks here. So where did they make that jump?
Yeah, I mean, so you'll remember last week, Monday of last week, City Council in Seattle unanimously passed 2 ordinances. This is now coupled with a total of 4 ordinances that the city has passed. But these past 2 were designed to cut red tape to fund more shelter space across the city. It basically, you could sign different direct lease agreements. You didn't have to go through all the steps and processes. So that was a big one for the city and Mayor Katie Wilson's policy to create more shelter space for the homeless. But also, it's another ordinance added $4.8 million to help fund housing and wraparound care that can also include drug treatment. I mean, I think every expert would tell you, and I think city policymakers would also tell you, you can't really separate all the time the issue of homelessness and drug use because often they're intertwined. And that's what we see oftentimes in a lot of the homeless camps around the area. And addicts don't want treatment or they're part of a deferred program from prosecution to so they can get the support and wraparound care they need. So when they are ready to go to treatment and to treat their addiction, that they'll do that. But interesting that these policies seem to mirror exactly what this survey is kind of saying.
Yeah, something about that. Go back to Ryan and you and your conversation with him. Ryan seemed very understanding and willing to talk to you, giving you very specific places as to where you go ahead and go to these places and everything like that. But how often and what made you go and talk to Ryan and just not take the report and just go with that? What made you go and do that?
Because I wanted to hear from someone out there
someone that's experiencing it,
right? I don't think Ryan took the survey himself, but he's out there. He knows what's going on. He tells me he was robbed not too long ago, and they stole a bunch of his stuff. These guys, so they could pawn it off themselves to buy more drugs. And he tells me he's battling his own issues with substance, and he lives this life. So of course he would know. He has the insight.
Yeah.
So what else did this study or this survey find? And what do they attribute this decrease in the injection drug use and then the increase in meth? And then are they talking about different approaches in dealing with these?
They cite a lot of different reasons, but what they found was that, and this is the UW School of Public Health, by the way, that injection drug use dropped from 93% to 44% since 2021. With smoking drugs now more dominant. That is also somewhat interesting. And
who did they survey? Or so like
it was a little more than 1,000 folks around town, and mostly from drug treatment facilities or the groups and organizations that would hand out needles, clean needles, and things like that. So they're kind of basing it on that. But what's interesting, and you can't really draw a direct correlation here one way or the other, but remember, it was just a couple weeks ago now that the city of Seattle claimed they cleaned up some 621,000, I believe, needles off the streets. What you can't say is, but it kind of makes your mind go there, okay, but if there's a drop in injection use, almost 49%, how many more needles were out there before? I mean, it makes you think of that, but you can't jump to that because these needles could have been there, forever, or anyway. But it just makes you wonder how the level and the number of drugs that are in our cities, and how many people are using them, how many people are hooked on this stuff.
Mm.
Hey, you also covered another story.
Sure.
That I want to do a follow-up because I think this is going to end up being one of the biggest stories of 2026, and this is the placement of these massive data centers.
Right.
And so over the weekend, the mayor responded. Right? I mean, so the mayor responded saying that, hey, we were thinking about potentially a moratorium on these massive data centers.
Not surprising.
Yeah. And she's also saying that no permits have actually been approved on these.
Right. This is very early in the process, these data centers. There are three. It started with 4 companies. It was reduced to 3 companies for asking about 4 data centers that would use up the equivalent of electricity that covers about a third of the number of homes in Seattle. We're talking like 300,000 homes, the amount of electricity these data centers would use to keep the servers inside cool. And they're just going through a small little study right now to with Seattle City Light to determine, okay, what kind of what infrastructure are we talking about? What kind of costs are we talking about? How would this work if we really wanted to do this? At least 2 of those companies represented have data centers all over the globe. I mean, these are big companies. And so it doesn't, what I mean by it doesn't surprise me that the mayor would say something like that is because other states and locations are really seriously thinking the same thing. The state of Maine has now got a moratorium in place saying we don't want these data centers because they tend to, in some cases, drive up the cost of electricity for other people. Because when there's more demand, the price does what? It goes up. Basic Econ 101. And, there's also environmental issues a lot of people have as well, not only from power, but a lot of data centers will use water to keep the systems cool in there. And then the water either evaporates or sometimes it's being fed back into and recycled as warmer water into
the community,
which hurts the fish and other animals.
I'd be curious of which neighborhoods they would put those in and which neighborhoods they wouldn't put them in.
South Seattle is near
shocker,
close to the southern border area, kind of with. Probably with like Burien in that area.
Oh, really?
Because that's
Duwamish?
That's where probably. But it is close to the power grids. They can get is what they want, but it also happens.
G made a good point.
It also happens to be in those neighborhoods, right?
There are going to be certain neighborhoods that are not even considered.
Right? It won't be in Medina, right? It won't be in some of those neighborhoods where the houses are $1 million plus, right?
Probably not.
I apologize, Luke. Thank you for all your good reporting.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Hey, okay, on Friday, late Friday afternoon, did you hear the big breakup story?
I did, and I was about to do something, and I opted not to do it. You tell the story, and I'll tell you what I was about to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they might be one of the biggest name couples in the Pacific Northwest. We're talking, of course, about Sue Bird women's basketball legend and soccer icon Megan Rapinoe. And they have been together since 2017, and they announced on Friday afternoon that they are calling it quits. Mm-hmm. And they came up with a statement that was a very wonderful civil statement saying that, they were no longer going to, be, they still love each other, and it's just, they're not going to be married anymore. Yeah. They're splitting. They're going different directions.
Yep.
And I'm not going to lie, I was bummed.
Same.
I have met them once at the Storm game, mm-hmm. and they just seemed to be, like, to me, a couple that would last forever. And obviously, you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what goes on and what led to this. Mm-hmm. But I was really bummed out.
So was I. Well, I'll tell you what I almost did. I almost posted the picture of Sue Bird, Megan Rapinoe, myself, and Lillian in the picture.
Yes.
And I'm like, that would have been tasteless. Don't do that.
I have one of those pictures, too, and I'm not posting that
I'm not
either.
posting that.
No.
But here's what I want to say about these two. And here is an angle where you could say, I gained more respect for them when I saw the breakup in the announcement. Here's why. I have, I've been around a lot of famous athletes, okay? And here's the one thing that I know, and maybe some of you all know. Have you all ever known of a couple that's staying together until the kids graduate?
Oh, yeah.
Right? In this case, they have a brand. They have a joint podcast. They have
and that too.
They have all these things.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is a lot of times when these couples stay together for the brand, they'll stay together for the money. Like Bill and Hillary Clinton, right? I can keep going on people that stay together for the checks to keep going.
Yeah.
For Megan and Sue Bird to tell everybody, hey, listen, we're going to be straight up with y'all. It's going to be a breakup. And basically, I respect them so much because they are choosing to be very transparent to the people and not keep it going to keep the checks. Mm-hmm. I talk about this all the time. There's a lot of people that do and tell you things for the check.
Yeah.
And I love them for coming out and being like, look, we got all these things going together. We would probably make more money as a team together, but right now, here's the truth.
Yeah, we're choosing joy.
Yes.
Individually, each of them is a powerhouse in and of themselves.
Sure.
But, I mean, I totally get. But the other question I have is, why do we care? And I was trying to ask myself, why do I remember when, okay, this is going to sound ridiculous, but when Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston broke up. No.
I was thinking Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, I didn't care when they broke up.
You didn't care?
It sounded too messed up.
Okay.
But when Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston broke up, I was, that was kind of a bummer because you're like, hey, they can work against all odds and, they really love each other and they're going to work through all the difficulties of having such a public relationship. Mm-hmm. And I think Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe are that, and it's they're so iconic for the Pacific Northwest. They're also prominent voices for the LGBTQ community. It's like, hey, if that can't work, what does this say about others that can't work? I think that's your great, other relationships.
You
want to see people be able to make it against all odds.
Yeah. And I think that look, people say things like, oh, why do we care about that relationship? The same reason why you care and gossip about the relationships in your family. Can you believe Steele is still with Margie? Can you believe it? Oh, what happened? Y'all be spilling the tea about your neighborhood, about your family. Some of y'all go to church and talk about Sister Jenkins and Brother Jenkins and all that kind of stuff. So relationships are something that we talk about.
Yeah.
We celebrate them when they do well, and some of y'all celebrate them when they don't do well.
This is true, too. Joe and Brewster just said, seriously, who gives up? And then Joe says, I'd be more sad if you broke up with your Ohana, Ursula. Hey, that's not happening.
Yeah, but when you hear of those things, and by the way, this is one. How about this, Ursula? Have you ever had a relationship of a celebrity couple and that you're like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. But when the Megan Rapinoe and Sue
Brad
Bird,
and Angelina, that I knew was going to happen.
Yeah,
I was like, that's not a surprise.
Yeah.
It started off bad and it ended bad.
Will Smith and Jada actually lasted longer than I thought it would. And you want to talk about two people, you want to talk about alleged business relationship, Jada and Will. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
that's a business, right? I've seen some business relationships in my lifetime, and hey, it keeps the checks coming. Yeah. You keep the image going. That's why I got a lot of respect for them.
Yeah, I hope both Sue and Megan end up, being happier than ever and continue to do the great things that they do for the community.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing? I noticed that Gee made a comment about how we love to spill the tea about our family members. Spill the tea, Gee. Where did you get that phrase?
Where'd
you pull that slang from?
Hey, that's Gen Z.
I wonder. That's all I wanted to say.
That's Gen Z. Now, but if we're talking about a lot of these sayings and where they come from, go ahead and look that one up.
Well, and yes.
Since we're talking about spilling tea, and how about when the slang gets stolen, like woke? Hey, coming up next here on the Gee Ursula Show, agree to disagree, Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes, The John Curley Show.
If by like the 15th of October rolls around and suddenly there's a bolt of lightning and I croak out right there, I'm fine.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
My dream of growing a giant pumpkin is just a couple of months away. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows someone who got me the seed, the 1,500-pounder, baby. It's in a secret location. I don't want to say where it is.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com, or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
A legendary night for a legendary arm. The one and only Randy Johnson.
Swing and a miss. He's got number 14.
See the big unit make more Mariners history on Saturday, May 2nd, as his number 51 is retired at T-Mobile Park. The first Mariners pitcher to throw a no-hitter.
Randy looks to the skies. That is covered by the dome and bedlam.
Win the Cy Young Award.
And there's 19. That is a new American League record by a left-hander.
And be inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
The trade to Seattle set my career in motion.
He was dominant. He was intimidating. He was electric. Join us in celebrating the big unit for 2 great nights presented by T-Mobile. Friday, May 1st. Score your own number 51 on Randy Johnson 80s Jersey Night. And be there Saturday, May 2nd for Randy Johnson number retirement ceremony night.
Very proud to have played there for 10 years. Thank you, Seattle.
Get your tickets at mariners.com/big unit.
When did watching TV go from a way to relax to a complicated chore? Well, if you're sick of huge cable bills or endlessly searching for the show everyone's talking about, then welcome to Philo. Philo's the streaming service that respects both your time and your wallet, without needing to cut the stuff you actually love to watch. This means live TV from more than 70 channels like Hallmark, History, A&E, and Lifetime, plus a huge library of blockbuster movies and classic shows, and an easy-to-use unlimited DVR that lets you save anything you want and skip all the ads when you watch. The best part? You get all this for just $25 a month when you sign up at Philo.tv. No hidden fees, no long contracts, just a genuinely great deal. And new users can try it completely free for 7 days. So head to Philo.tv, that's PHILO.tv, and experience a better way to TV. Subscriptions auto-renew at monthly rate plus applicable taxes. Cancel anytime. See terms at Philo.tv.
Home Comfort Alliance, a Carrier factory authorized dealer delivering efficiency, reliability, and quiet performance every time. John Curley here. Upgrade to Carrier cooling and get a heating system free. Use their 60-second price estimator at homecomfortalliance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. We're now hearing that Iran does plan to send negotiators to meet with a United States delegation in Pakistan today. There had been hesitations, especially after the U.S. military boarded an Iranian shipping vessel, leading both sides to tell the world the embattled Strait of Hormuz was closed.
The disruption of commercial shipping transit through the Strait of Hormuz could lead to a shortage of some pharmaceuticals in the U.S. What kinds?
Antibiotics, blood pressure medications, diabetes drugs, the medicines millions rely on every day.
Dr. Celine Gouder is CBS News medical correspondent and editor-at-large for public health at KFF. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
And, of course, gas prices are affected. They fell about 7 cents on average in Washington last week, but they're expected to go back up as soon as today. Multiple law enforcement agencies are investigating the murders of 8 children in Shreveport, Louisiana. The suspect is the father of 7 of them. Here's Jason Allen with CBS News.
The kids played in the yard every evening.
Fred Montgomery lives directly across the street. He said there were no signs the shooter would do something like this.
Just yesterday evening, he was sitting on the porch, and I waved at him. He waved back. The children were in the yard playing, and I just come in the house. And then this morning, we woke up to all of this.
The father was shot and killed by police. With just 60 days to go before the World Cup, Seattle is fine-tuning security plans. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas has that.
And safety top of mind for city leaders as well as federal and local law enforcement. One big tool they're rolling out right now is called Alert Seattle, which sends important updates straight to your phone, email, even through a phone call, all of which is free. Police say they're ramping up security plans right now, not just for the games, but for the entire city this summer. That also means you won't be able to drive through Pioneer Square or Pike Place during the matches, so expect street closures 4 hours before each match starts. The city has been testing barriers at Pike Place since last year.
The Seattle Torrent are now officially out of the women's hockey playoffs after a loss to Vancouver. The expansion league team had their first season. Their last 2 games are happening here at home this week at Climate Pledge Arena Wednesday and Saturday. Now we're going to check your drive. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic, and not too shabby. Federal Way to Seattle, now just 26 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue, 17 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, 16 minutes. You don't often hear me reporting that. It is looking very good. Renton The lake bridges really just clear, free, green on the map. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local stations' content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. And we're going to stay pretty nice today. Very cloudy, high of 73. We're going to dip back down to a high of 60 tomorrow and showers for the next 2 days. It is 63 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee just took a look at the stock market. It sounds like it's doing a bit of a turnaround again.
Yeah, just look, it was going, and then all of a sudden, the negotiators are going to meet in Iran. So just
investors are just looking for any sort of optimism.
That's it.
Yes.
But imagine this, because most people don't have stock portfolios. Just imagine in this country, Ursula, if some good news comes about with the Iran war, and then all of a sudden you go to the gas station, like, oh my goodness, it was cheaper right now.
Sadly,
groceries
get
cheaper.
Yeah, the gas prices just aren't going to drop like we wish they would. Yeah. But hey, let's bring joy, because we want to do Agree to Disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you're already boying? Come on now. Come on. Give me some credit. No, I mean, part of the fun is that I know you guys well enough now at this point that if I see a headline, I'm like, I know how I can twist this into something that will make some conversations happen.
Yes.
And so this is what I want to talk to you guys about. There is an artist that's been facing some criticism because Lily Allen, she's on tour right now, and she just started her concert, and her concert is under an hour. Show starts at 9:06, ends at 9:57. The whole album is still played front to back, no skips. And let's just face it, when was the last time a concert ended before 10 p.m.? So it had me thinking about plans. And we know that Gee isn't a fan of a late night out, and Ursula is more so the type of person that will be out till dawn chit-chatting. So my question is, how much are you thinking about, how much does the length of a plan impact whether you say yes? So my question is, would you say yes more often if you knew that you didn't need to commit more than an hour of your time?
Absolutely. First of all, I love this topic and conversation we're about to have. Yes. And I know I'm not alone. These concerts, which Emerald Queen Casino, nobody is more efficient with concerts than them. 90 minutes.
They want you to go to the casino.
90 minutes, you're in and out. And for us folks, and I don't care what they say, I know I might look good for my age of 50, and I know 50 is a new 30, but I keep telling y'all 8 p.m. is the new 11 p.m. Your dog got to go to sleep. And so an hour concert, yes, please.
Okay. Am I more apt to do things if I knew this is not going to be long and drawn out? Yes. Is a concert among those things? No.
Of course not.
Because you are putting in some serious coin to go to a concert.
True.
You're fighting traffic, and then you have to pay. Let's say it's the Chateau Saint Michel concert, where you're now trying to find that parking spot that's going to be less than $50, which doesn't exist. Then you're going in, hauling in all your lawn equipment, and then it's only going to be an hour? No. I mean, I don't want to be rushed through that. Now, if you could tell me that I have to go to a pots and pans party and I can get in and out in 45 minutes. Yes. I actually specifically avoided saying certain types of party because I'm hosting a couple of them. And as the host, I don't want anyone to feel rushed. But you know what I'm saying? There's certain things, like if you can go in, you could do like a quick, I don't want to call it a drive-by, but you can just go in,
drop in,
make your presence known. I'm going to bring a gift and then get out. Yes.
Ursula, I'm going to do something else coming up this year. I've decided, and I'm going to do another party, and I'm going to do something, a big one. It's a long story. That's going to happen in like March of next year.
Okay.
But here's what needs to be popular. Why do we always have to have these concerts and things at night? Why can't we do these things? What time was my birthday party?
3.
3?
Yes, and you said specifically your program starts at 4:30. Mind you, it was actually 4:33, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
I was like,
he was working on radio
I was
time.
like, this is, but the delay was so worth it.
Yeah.
You had an incredible vocalist.
Oh, amazing.
Oh my gosh. So, yes.
Are you down with that? I mean, you all listening. Would you love for your concert to be at 3 p.m. as opposed to it starts at 7 and then the main headliner doesn't get out there till 9? Come on now, y'all.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I went to a Madonna concert. I remember. I mean, there were certain artists who were notorious about starting hours and hours late, and that's so rude. But do you really want a concert that's less than an hour?
Yeah. No.
You do?
No, I want it less than an hour. Oh. And here's another thing I don't want. How are you guys, when you go to these concerts, you pay all this money, and then you have all of these different acts before? I don't care about them acts. I don't care if they're the up-and-coming singer. I came to see these folks, and that would be an hour.
There are times that I have enjoyed the up-and-coming singers more than the actual ones I went to. So they need a chance to break in. Mm-hmm. And some of the folks who are the main event, they get old and tired.
I can't. Wait a minute. Am I alone on this? Because the text line is really quiet and not saying anything. I think I'm alone on this. You guys.
I think the text line is feeling the Monday sunny day.
But Ursula, would you go to more concerts if they were in the daytime? On a Saturday, Sunday?
And if they had easy parking and were not an arm and a leg.
I mean, I guess that's a fair point to say. This is fun for me because I love a concert, and I went to the SZA Kendrick concert last year, and that show was 3 hours of them, not including the opening act, 3 hours of them singing. I mean, and Kendrick has a lot of songs, so it made sense. But if you came in to see an artist that had just a concrete album, maybe you see all your songs, you're good. It's under an hour.
Well,
make it work.
But Matt and Raven stuff. But again, it needs to. There's more that goes. It's not just the music. There's just also the relaxation and the conversation that's going on with your friends and stories between, just don't.
I don't care about your stories. I need to get home.
The stories by the artists. Like some of the little tidbits that you just want to
give me the stories, give me the music in an hour.
Then I was going to say, listen to your CD. What the heck?
Hey, Cash, what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, specifically with concerts, I borderline want to feel like I've heard too much before I'm ready to go.
Thank you.
An hour is crazy because the bottom line is the price was probably ridiculous to get there, and an hour, come on. I want to be I want to feel like I need to leave. Like I'm tired of the band
exactly
by the time I'm going.
And G wants to feel like he needs more.
Now, wait a minute though.
Yes.
See what happens.
So Cash was spot on.
Okay, so
and the text line
that's a bit of good
agreeing.
Cash. Hey, Ernie just because Ernie be talking stuff. I knew that my crowd, folks turning 50. Here's the thing: I know that they appreciated. They appreciated that it was 3 to 6 to party.
Yes.
You home before dark, or you want
it was
to
also
go
on a Sunday, so people
Absolutely.
have to work the next day.
Yeah.
So you were very mindful of that. My party, me turning 60.
Yeah.
There was no end to it. It was a Saturday night.
Nick had the party going.
No, he did. Nick was a fantastic DJ, by the way.
But don't you like the idea? Because my man Cash said you hear too much of the music, then you're tired. Don't you want to do something else after? I can't do nothing else after it. I'm cooked.
You're still not doing anything else. You're going home.
All right. Text messages, feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's words to live by. Gee Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Nobody should drink and drive. It's absolutely dangerous. DUI Heroes cares for their clients as people individuals who have made a mistake. So if you or someone you know made the unfortunate mistake of driving under the influence and was pulled over for DUI, DUI Heroes will hear you and they will understand you. They will represent and defend you, the person, helping you get your life back in order. I know Jonathan and his team. They're wonderful people and exceptional at what they do. DUI Heroes, your DUI defense specialist, DUIHeroes.com.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Hey, did you hear about that multi-billion-dollar Roundup settlement?
Yeah, it impacts people who are exposed to weed killers at work or at home, even if you just used it in your own yard. Lawsuits claim it causes non-Hodgkin lymphoma, a blood cancer.
But we're not sick, so that doesn't affect us.
But it does. This cancer can take 10 to 15 years to show up.
That's a long time after exposure.
It is, and that's why the settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you get sick, even years from now, you could get $6,000 to $165,000 or more as part of the settlement.
So what's the catch?
If you stay in, you give up the right to sue them later.
Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 1-888-403-8201. If you or a loved one has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, even if they've passed, you must register for benefits. That's weedkillerclass.com. 1-888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
Well, there's nothing I hate worse than being cold. And if your house is feeling a bit drafty or the floors of the main level are way too cold on your feet, that's probably because your crawl space and attic don't have enough insulation. It's probably making your furnace work overtime. So now you're spending more money as well. Well, how about a free and easy way to learn if you need better insulation? Just schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and attic with Crawl Pros. It's exactly what I did. They'll show up to your house. They'll go where you don't want to, certainly where I didn't want to, and they'll tell you if you got any problems with your crawl space, your attic, and especially your insulation. If they do discover your home is under or improperly insulated, they'll show you all the utility rebates as well to help you get that work done correctly and affordably. If you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could receive a rebate to cover up to 95% of the cost. Make your home more comfortable, save on your energy bill with Crawl Pros. If you're worried that anything's going on in your crawl space or attic, critters, mold, water, plumbing issues, call Crawl Pros or go to crawlpros.com.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, April 25th. Find a collection site near you at deatakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
Sully here. I help commuters get around. And look, you know the first key to a good commute? A car that starts in the morning. That only happens when it's serviced regularly and repaired correctly. That's why I recommend Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. They've been keeping neighbors rolling for over 50 years. Honest work, fair prices, and zero guessing about that check engine light. And you know it's going to come on. So take it to Bucky's. Your car and your commute will thank you. Visit Bucky's.com. That's Bucky's.com.
I got called an old geezer on the text line. How dare you call me that?
I think that's another 80s term, isn't it? Geezer?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That was something that we used to say. Okay, on the idea of 1 hour concerts and you thinking that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Steven the 253 says, gotta see those openers. Gee, saw the Rolling Stones opening act was Pearl Jam. Hello. And then Brent in Belfair, who's not a big fan of afternoon shows as you were proposing, he says concerts should never compete with ball games. That's a point. That's a good point.
That's probably the number one point.
Yeah.
True.
So you could do the ball game and the concert.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But Kara, the cleaning lady on the other side said, gee, I don't go anywhere after 7 p.m. I do day drinking only. So, yes, the 3 p.m. concerts.
Kara, we have to meet her in person. Brian in Gig Harbor says, sorry, G, as a 57-year-old, I'm not an old geezer who can't handle staying out late and listening to music for over an hour. Concerts are a post-dinner event.
I just want to tell you, Ursula, that this weekend I did not have to work.
No.
Friday night, your dog was... No, actually, I had fell asleep a little bit, and then I had to wake up, and then I was up to like a long time.
4:30 in the morning. Yeah.
But the rest of the day, Saturday night, Sunday?
Yeah, you were sleeping.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, Joni in the 253 feels that because she said, gee, I love your honesty. I'm going out with friends on Friday, and the event doesn't start till 9. 9? Seriously? I'm half asleep on the couch at 8:30. As you say, come on.
Ursula, you don't even...
I don't even get going.
Listen, you don't even blink at a 9 o'clock start time, do you?
No. The good stuff gets going at like 10. Yeah, this is true. Okay, on sitting in silence, Curtis in Auburn says, constant audio is a must for me. As an adult male with ADHD and unmedicated for it, the constant sound scratches that itch in my brain that keeps me balanced. I get that.
In full transparency, the only time I do silence on the way back home from work here, it's the only time in my day that I do silence.
No music?
No music.
Just.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. It's been a thing. Wow. I reflect on it. Yeah. I do silence. That's awesome. It. Other than that, I still have been falling asleep with the TV on since I was a little boy.
Yeah, Jane Lacey is the same thing. He said, I love silence. Usually 1 hour a day I need silence. Probably the 1 hour that he's not listening to they say there's 4 hours a day where you need background noise. So he listens to Gee and Ursula for 3 hours and then has 1 hour of silence. That's what I think.
Okay.
T in Conway says, my 64-year-old husband can't even watch TV without looking at his phone. Okay, be honest. How many of us are guilty of that too? Usually watching reels while he's doing it. I've even caught him staring at his phone while walking down the driveway from getting the mail. Okay. T and Conway, I think your husband is doing what a lot of us do. If we're being honest.
What percentage, question, out of 10 people, and you all text, go ahead, you guys can answer, out of 10 people that get ready to go use the restroom, of the 10, how many take their phone into the restroom? out of 10.
9.
I agree.
There's that one clean freak.
Right. Yeah, that's it.
Otherwise, let's get real.
What do you think, Sophia? Out of 10 people, how many take their phone to the restroom?
I think it's like 9.5.
Cash, you take your phone to the restroom?
I'm the worst. Yeah, all the time.
Okay, yeah, T and Conway, I think you described a lot of us. Okay, Emily in Kirkland says, worst news ever as a chronic dopamine addict. I have something playing almost constantly. Nothing stops my thoughts, but it definitely gives me that little hit and stimulation that I need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Margaret and Lacey, our girl, she said, I'm 52 and I have slept the TV on since I was 12. Now I turn on Gilmore Girls on Netflix and turn the volume down low, and when it stops to ask if I'm still there, it wakes me up. I roll over and I hit Don't Ask Again and go back to sleep. I also sleep with the local radio app playing low. If I don't have both of these going, I sleep bad. LOL.
By the way,
well, we appreciate you, Marguerite, listening on the radio app. Hopefully it's our radio app.
253 text in and says, G just raw dogging on his commute home. And by the way,
wait.
Sophia, tell people what the term means.
No, go ahead. You do, G, because the last time I said that, I got grief. So now it's your turn.
The raw dogging is like...
Just feels really aggressive.
It's not... No music, no headphones or anything. They on a plane, no cellular service, no internet or anything like that. I was bringing it up because my wife asked me, who in the world came up with that term for that?
Thank you.
I said Gen Z.
Someone with a dirty mind is what I say.
Gen Z did that, but I don't, yeah. All right, Ursula, it's time for Words to Live By. What you got?
This is a quote from a beautiful actress, Sophia Loren, who happens to be 91 years old. And this is talking about getting older. There is a fountain of youth. It's your mind, your talents, the creativity that you bring to your life and the lives of people you love. When you learn to tap this source, you will truly have defeated age.
Yeah. Sophia Loren's still kicking.
91. I had to look it up. I had to look and make sure.
Yes.
She's gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Yeah, no doubt. All right, Ursula, we'll do this again tomorrow.
We will.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Sophia, are you back with us again tomorrow?
I'm here all week.
Oh, nice. Cash, hey man, listen, I just want to tell everybody, Cash is being trained there by Nick. Nick's the best to do it, of course. And Cash, I got to tell you, bro, you've been fantastic.
Flawless.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Seriously.
Yeah, well done. Got a cool name, man.
I know
Cash. That'd be something. That's a nice name. All right, we're going to do this again tomorrow. Hey, just so you know, the Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
The John Curley Show.
If by like the 15th of October rolls around and suddenly there's a bolt of lightning and I croak out right there, I'm fine.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
My dream of growing a giant pumpkin is just a couple of months away. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows someone who got me the seed, the 1,500-pounder, baby. It's in a secret location. I don't want to say where it is.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Trying to figure out assisted living for a parent or a loved one while life keeps moving full speed? It's tough. Hey, it's Spike O'Neill. Here's what I wish someone had told me sooner. Aegis Living. These are luxury communities, resort-style amenities. Voted Best of Western Washington and ranked #1 senior living community in all of America for 2025 by Seniorly. Go to aegisliving.com/spike, schedule a visit, and get a special take-home gift. And when you take the tour, don't be surprised if you turn to whoever's with you and say, this must be the place, because it is. aegisliving.com/spike.
Hartley Wilcox here. For over 100 years, my family has been committed to doing what's right. We believe food should be honest and wholesome. At Wilcox Farms, that starts with caring for our hens. They roam healthy pastures and enjoy a diet of organic grains and flaxseed. Why does that matter? Because what hens eat determines the quality of the eggs you eat. Our nature-first approach means vibrant golden yolks, richer flavor, and higher omega-3s for your family's health. When you choose Wilcox, you're not just buying eggs. You're supporting a farm that values animal welfare, sustainability, and community. It's real nutrition, real care, and real value. So next time you're at the egg case, look for Wilcox Family Farms eggs. Taste the difference that starts with what our hens eat. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from. But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work. And they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce!
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
In today's fast-moving job market, staying ahead means keeping your skills sharp. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we help keep your capabilities cutting edge with our skills-based education programs designed to move your career forward. Explore more than 135 degrees and